Today's podcast is brought to you by Visa, who wants to know, where would you like to be? Whether you're a super fan getting ready for game day or a food truck owner feeding hungry fans, Visa wants to help you pursue your passion with the simple and unwavering vision to be the best way to pay and be paid for everyone, everywhere. They know that every Visa transaction is a promise, and they want to provide you with the most secure and easy payment experience possible. That's why they're continuing to make innovations, from tapping to pay to pushing money directly to your debit card, so you can get to where you would like to be. Visa, everywhere you want to be. Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Jenny. Good morning.
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Skip?
Congratulations.
What
You did it. You pulled it off.
What'd I do?
As the president of the Dak Prescott Haters Club, you pulled it off.
Pulled off what?
You somehow got Aaron Rodgers on the Pro Bowl team and my guy off the team. It's all because of you. Way to go.
Skip,
you got clout. You got you're an influencer.
I'm one of Dak's biggest supporters.
Yeah. Athletics.
Is there more to that? Okay. Can't even keep a straight face. We have a big Wednesday show for you today. Did Doc Rivers take a shot at LeBron last night? And is the rest of the NFL starting to think Tom Brady is in decline? He also might be responsible for that one. But first, we're going to start with Skip's Cowboys. Pro Bowl rosters were announced last night. And while Dallas had 4 players from its league-leading offense make the cut, Dak Prescott wasn't one of them. The NFC went with Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback instead. The Rodgers over Dak pick definitely raised some eyebrows, considering Prescott has more touchdowns and passing yards than Aaron, as well as a better completion percentage. So, Shannon, did Rodgers deserve to make it over Dak?
Is this a trick question?
No.
Oh, Skip, really?
Yeah, it's a trick question.
That's not a trick question. You need to stop. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for even broaching this subject. You know good and well Dak Prescott did not deserve to be on the Pro Bowl roster.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, you always like to normally I would let this go last, but since you like to do this, I'm going to do what you do.
Okay.
You always tell me if the guy beats the guy head to head, he's better. My guy beats your guy head to head because that's what he does with Tom Brady. Anytime Tom Brady wins a game, Jenny, it's Tom Brady's the better. So let's look at...
Let's say if he outplayed him head to head.
Did my guy outplay your guy head to head?
Prescott has outplayed Jared Goff 4 times. He's outplayed Aaron Rodgers a number of times.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers' team is 11-3. That's tied for best record in the NFC. I don't know if people know this. Aaron Rodgers has 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Packers' running game is 17th. No Devontae for a month. He's throwing to Kumaro, Allison, and Lazard. All are undrafted free agents.
Wait, how about Aaron Jones? He's throwing a lot to him.
Although, Aaron Jones, the Packers' running game is 17th. Now, there's only 32 teams, so that's slightly below, if I'm not mistaken, that's slightly below average. The Dallas Cowboys
throwing it to...
Whoa. Skip, you're interrupting me. Judge, can you please ask? Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you. Now, let's look at old Dak Prescott, old Dakota Rain Prescott.
Yeah, he reigns, R-E-I-G-N.
Rain.
Dak Prescott team is 7-7. Aaron Rodgers 11-3. Dak Prescott is 1-5 against teams with winning records. In those games, he's thrown 9 touchdowns with 7 interceptions. Do you know this? I don't know if people knew this at home, Jenny. You probably didn't know this. Dak Prescott has thrown more interceptions than Mitchell Trubisky. What? Anybody that's got something more than Mitchell Trubisky should, in a negative way, should not be nowhere near the Pro Bowl.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. But I told you, Skip, you should take great solace in this. You got the 5th best brother in the NFL. There's only 8 of them.
That's clever.
Skip.
Now you're having to resort to the brother.
You got the 5th one.
Yeah.
Because the other 4 made the Pro Bowl. So he's better than Jameis. He's better than Kyler. He's better than Jacoby Brissett. So you should hang your hat on that. I'm not so sure he's the first alternate. It's probably my first cousin, Kim Folk Kirk. He's probably the first alternate. Don't be careful. Jameis might be the second alternate. So your guy might be, one of these guys going to go to the Super Bowl. Probably Drew Brees or Russell. So he might get an opportunity to fill in. But anyway, Skip, look. Your guys' numbers are inflated. See, even the Cowboy, even that big brand, He didn't win the fan vote in the NFC. Russell Wilson won that. But you know what you can't fool? Those coaches and players that watch tape. Did you know this, Skip? Dak Prescott has the second most passing yards when down by at least 3 scores. 4 times in 14 games, they've been down by at least 4 scores. So everybody's starting to see what I've been telling you all along. His numbers are inflated, and they didn't let him off the hook with it. No Pro Bowl for you. Take it away, Skip.
Thank you very much. This just makes my blood boil. This makes me want to puke up my breakfast all over this table.
You ain't had nothing but a bagel.
I'm just spare you that.
You ain't had nothing but old bagel and some muscle milk.
Muscle, I got a lot of muscle milk in me, and that could come up real fast.
I don't want that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just trying to demonstrate the depth of my disgust.
It hurts.
No, it doesn't.
What have I told you all year long? Dak Prescott is simply the most over-criticized, underappreciated quarterback I have ever closely observed. In all my years of covering your league, never anything like what has happened to the reputation of Dak Prescott. There's a stigma attached to him he just cannot overcome, thanks in large part to you. There's a stain on his reputation he cannot overcome, which is he can't throw. It's still out there. He's inaccurate. He can't throw the football. Aaron Rodgers is the transcendent thrower of the football. As my man Shannon Sharpe always tells me, he is the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the league. I might throw in Dan Marino, but that's a whole nother discussion. Let me even give you that much. He is the greatest thrower of the football ever. What does that have to do with this year's performance? Absolutely
24-2.
nothing.
11-3.
I'm about to explain all of the above.
Okay, explain it.
So the only way that Aaron Rodgers rose above my guy to be the third quarterback on the Pro Bowl NFC roster is number one, reputation. And I'm going to give you reputation because it often comes into play here. 3 of my offensive linemen made it. And I think one of them probably deserved it. If I just go on the Pro Football Focus rankings of offensive linemen, Zach Martin still ranks 3rd overall in offensive line. So I'm going to give him that.
Correct.
But Ty Smith is way on down the line at 24th, and I'm not sure about him making it this year.
Lyle Collins played better than Ty Smith this year.
And he didn't make it. And then Travis Frederick, there's probably some sympathy vote going on there because he overcame his syndrome that he fought through his health issue of last year. And so I'll give you that on sympathy vote. But again, my running back made it once again, and it's mostly on reputation.
No,
I'm going to hold this off because we're going to do a whole topic on this in just a few minutes on this show. How good was Ezekiel Elliott overall this year? Not nearly as good as he was his first 3 years. So now we're back to my quarterback. The only other way that Aaron Rodgers rose above my quarterback is what you pointed out, 11-3 versus 7-7. But 11-3, really, that's interesting because if we look at numbers, if we look at sheer performance, individual versus individual, it is a joke what has happened to Aaron Rodgers this year. By his standards, his very lofty standards, his year has been mediocre at best. So what has happened all year long in my favorite stat, QBR? Dak Prescott led the league most of the year until just of late. He had one bad game up in the driving rain and the icy wind up in New England, and that was a QBR of 15, and that dropped him down. So he got edged out so far in QBR. He's dropped to fourth. Just barely behind, let's see, Lamar and Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty great, right?
Yeah. Okay. And they all made the Pro Bowl.
Okay, so that's good. I'm glad you're making my case. Thank you very much. So Dak is 4th on that list. 5th is Matt Stafford. I'm going to eliminate him because he hasn't played in a long time anyway, so he just hangs in there at 5th just because he did it a long time ago. 6th on the list is Russell Wilson. Did he make the Pro Bowl?
Yep.
Oh, next on the list is Deshaun Watson. Did he make the Pro Bowl? Oh, so there are all those quarterbacks. I just gave you those in order. There's one guy right in the middle who was 4th named Dak Prescott. He didn't make the Pro Bowl. So his QBR is way up there. Wait, no, we have to go. Oh, wait. Who's the last guy who made the Pro Bowl? We have to go all the way down on the QBR list to 17th, where we find Aaron Rodgers. Again, QBR scale 0 to 100 takes into account what you do on key plays, what you do in garbage time, what you don't do, what you do. It's a much better stat than just the quarterback rating.
Okay, how about this here? Can QBR tell me what the record is? What does QBR say about win-loss?
Well, I already told you. I already said that.
Okay, so what?
17th. So now let's look at all the accolades on Dak's resume this year. He's second in yards passing. Aaron Rodgers is 11th. Dak is third in completions. Is that good? It's pretty good. Aaron's 11th. How about fourth in touchdown passes? Dak Prescott? Aaron's 9th. Okay. How about second in passes for first downs? Aaron's 15th in that category. How about third in air distance? That, like you always say, Dink and Dak. Dak's third in overall air distance. So how far the pass traveled down the field? Aaron's 7th. Okay, not bad, but not this guy. And then how about big passes, 20-plus yard completions? My guy's second in the league in those. Aaron Rodgers is 10th. And then catchable passes. Catchable passes. Dak is number 1 in the NFL in catchable passes thrown. The guy who can't throw, who's inaccurate. Number 1 in the NFL as of right now in catchable passes. Aaron Rodgers is 11th. I just gave you all the reasons. There's no way Aaron Rodgers should be above my guy.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. But I gave you the reasons why those numbers are inflated.
No.
4 times, Skip.
Okay,
They've been down by 3 scores.
Here's the problem. Okay, so my guy has 26 touchdown passes to your guy's 24.
24.
Okay, my guy has 11 interceptions to your guy's 2. But your guy is second in throwaways. He usually just runs
number
away
one?
with number 1 is Tom Brady.
Okay,
but there are different kinds of throwaways. I've tried to instruct you. I've tried to teach you. Yes, there are. Dak is 20th in throwaways because Dak is constantly being forced by his defense and his field position to play from behind. So he's desperate. He's going to try throws that Aaron Rodgers would never try. The 2 kinds of throwaways result from this. Tom Brady, number 1 in throwaways this year, drops back, and within 2.5 seconds, he's doing this because both sides of the line are collapsed on. He's got the worst pass protection in pro football. So, and by the way, we're going to get to this later. Tom Brady has taken the worst beating of his career this year in the pocket. In the pocket. So Aaron Rodgers has much better protection than Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers does this. He's got high IQ. It's kind of LeBron-esque. He looks and says, I don't love that. That could be an interception. I'll throw it away.
Stop doing that. You know that man ain't doing that.
They're like coverage throwaways.
No.
There are sack throwaways and there are coverage throwaways.
And Tom Brady throws them away sometimes when they're covered.
Tom Brady is like falling down, throwing it away as he's getting hit by 3
But you know
guys.
what I never heard? You know what I never heard you or anybody else says? When Tom Brady last year against, I think they were playing the Chargers, and he was mic'd up and Joey Bosa was trying to get there and he couldn't get there. Nobody mentioned the kind of protection that he was getting. He's getting rid of the ball in 0.3 seconds. Nobody mentioned that protection, Jenny. Now,
I always did.
No.
You had a great offensive line.
No.
I always said Dante Scarnecchio works miracles.
Tom has the quickest release. Or Jesse James didn't have, Billy the Kid didn't have a release like Tom Brady.
Okay.
Now, all of a sudden, he get his head split. He can't get no protection.
Guess who doesn't have a quick release? His receivers. They cannot separate. Julian Edelman is a broken down shell of himself, which is why he did not make the Pro Bowl once again, and he's the best option Tom has of his quote-unquote weapon.
Whoa. So you mean to tell me the guy was supposed to make the Pro Bowl? What about your guy? Did your guy make the Pro Bowl? So he do it. So Julian Edelman was supposed to make the Pro Bowl with less than a Pro Bowl quarterback. Let that sink in for a second, Kenny. We'll get back to that a little later.
My guy, Dak Prescott, has had to overcome
a
disaster of a defense that finally rose and shone against the Rams for the first time all year very long. So you got defense, and guess what, boys and girls? Guess what my field position has been for my Dallas Cowboys this year? It ranks 32nd in the league. It's still after even what they did against the Rams, because really it was pretty terrible against the Rams. They had a 90-yard drive and a 97-yard drive. Why is that? Because the defense is so bad that it gives up, and then if they do finally hold, they get punted back to the 6-yard line.
Okay.
So Dak's field position has been number 32 in the National Football League. So he's working against odds, the longest odds. I got to make a play. I got to make a third down play. I got to convert.
But if he's that guy, that's what he's supposed to do, right?
Guess who leads the league in third down conversions? Dallas does.
But hold on.
Wow, that's pretty great.
Let that sink in, Skip. Your guy has the second most passing yards. Your guy has the fourth highest QBR. He has the highest yards per attempt. But for some reason, he's 7-7. Can you explain that?
Because you're having to drive 90 or 97 yards for touchdowns, and you can't always pull that off.
If you're that guy.
Well, he's pulled it off a lot.
Lamar Jackson driving.
Sometimes
Russell's
you can't overcome
driving.
it.
Mahomes,
so guess what? Pro Football Focus says that Dak Prescott number one in drops with his receivers. Number one in the whole NFL. The most drops in the NFL are by Dak's receivers this year. So let's factor that in, and I think that adds up to Pro Bowl year.
I don't think so.
Woo!
Because I keep telling you, the one thing that the players and coaches see, they see when you compile these numbers, you're down by 4. Let this sink in. A guy that Skip just explained to you, that's 4th in QBR, has the 2nd most passing yards per attempt, catchable balls. Somehow he's allowed his team to fall behind 4 times by 3 scores or more.
Well,
how is that possible?
Does he play safety?
No, but see, that's
if he could, maybe we'd be pretty good.
Jenny, you know, when I was growing up, we played a game called Make It, Take It, playing basketball. If I made the basket, I get to keep making it until I miss.
Yeah.
And then in football, you score a touchdown, you have to walk to the other end and kick to the team. So when they score a touchdown, they kick off to Dallas. What does Dak do?
Guess what? We're dead last in kickoff returns. So our starting field position is horrible. Dead last. We're number 32.
Skip.
Help me out.
See, I want you, but see, here's the thing. It's all because I remember a time when Dak was struggling. It was because Sean Lee wasn't there. At some point in time, Skip, you're going to have to say, you know what? It can't be the defense. It can't be the punt return.
But it is the defense. It is the kickoff
return. It is all your quarterback has not gotten it done. Hold on. Okay, let me ask you a question.
What does QBR say?
Okay, it says
QBR says he's been really good.
And QBR says he's 1-5 against teams with a winning record. 9 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Yeah.
Now, what do you say? No. Aaron Rodgers is undefeated. Aaron Rodgers, he's 6-0.
So guess what? Guess who the MVP of the Green Bay Packers is this year? You could probably take a private vote inside the locker room, an anonymous vote, and I'll bet they'd all vote for Aaron Jones.
A-Rod.
Every time I look up, it's Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers had 2 disaster games against the Chargers and the 49ers.
Okay. Yeah.
And my guy has had no disaster games.
Hold on.
Not one.
What about Green Bay?
Only
with 3 picks.
Wait, he only threw for, what was that? 463
They were down 31-3.
463 yards.
31-3.
It's hard. I don't care how far down you are to throw for 463. That's hard.
Okay, so why didn't he throw for 463?
Okay, how did that game turn?
You
He
lost.
throws a ball that hits Amari Cooper right there.
In the first quarter.
And it goes right through his hands.
Skip, you know what? And you know what? You remember, because you remember the Rockets filed a protest because they said James Harden dunk was a dunk. And so what did the NBA say? You had ample time to overcome that. So you mean to tell me a play that happened in the first quarter, you didn't have enough time to overcome?
Well, again, before you look up, it's, what was the score, 28-3?
Why am I looking up?
Every time Aaron Rodgers and company, Aaron Jones, he was the star of the game. He ran wild and caught wild.
I don't need to know who was the star for the Packers. I'm trying to ask you a question. Did Dak not play in that game against Green Bay?
Yeah. He threw for 463. He threw for 323 in the second half and came within a botched field goal, a chip shot, of getting an onside kick to tie the game.
I don't think the people at home heard me, Jenny. I don't think the people at home heard me. My notes say here, and me and Steve, we burning the midnight oil.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about LeBron a little later because he made me miss my workout yesterday. But anyway, my stat says Dak Prescott has the 2nd most passing yards when down by at least 3 scores. 4 times this year, he's been down by at least 3 scores.
That actually makes my case, and I appreciate you bringing that up. My team's been a disaster all year. It just falls behind. It can't stop anybody.
It's like a Skip.
My team turned Mitchell Trubisky into Lamar Trubisky.
Skip.
How hard is that to do?
It's like a team, you losing, but the guy scores 50 and you lose the game. What have you done if at one point in time you were down by 30 points and you come back and you lose by 12? But he got 50.
My team had a league-high 19 missed tackles at Chicago on Thursday Night Football. How can any quarterback overcome that? That's the league high all year. Nobody's had 19 missed.
No.
Okay, so it's
so
a Pro Bowl year.
How's the defense supposed to overcome 3 picks? How's the defense supposed to overcome that?
Well,
Jenny, I mean, we just got off the field. We like, okay, we gonna get. They drinking Gatorade. Oh, D-Law, they're drinking Gatorade. Him and Jalen Smith, they drinking the Gatorade like this here. But D up, because he done threw a pick on first down.
You know what? This is not even arguably, this is the worst season of Aaron Rodgers' long career.
Let that sink in
and
for a second.
he made the Pro Bowl.
Let it sink in. Think about what you just said, Skip. Let that just sink in. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing because, see, what happens is that Aaron Rodgers gets measured against 45-6. And I said, if you're not careful, that's what's going to happen to my homeboy. 15-13 is going to be the gold standard. Where the likelihood of somebody throwing for, because we've never had it before in 100-year history, we've never had a player throw for have two 50 touchdown pass seasons. So Aaron Rodgers had that absurdly 45-6. But did you know the year that he did that, Jenny, they were 15-1, and he had the worst ranked defense in the NFL. Okay. So he overcame that and went 15-1. If Dak is the guy that Skip Bayless tell me that he got to be able to do it.
All I know is I had to sit and watch Aaron Rodgers.
Watch it.
On what night was that? Was that a Monday night?
Sunday night against the 49ers?
No, against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a night game.
It was a
Sunday night. Monday night. It was a Monday night game.
Oh, okay.
I had to sit and watch Aaron Rodgers against the team I despise the most, the Green Eagles. I had to watch him on the final big play of the game, failed to notice that he had a wide open receiver in the right side of the end zone just saying, here, nobody took me. They blew the defense. I'm wide open. And he forced the ball to Valdez-Scantling, and it gets tipped up and intercepted. And the Eagles somehow stole a game that has haunted me to this day. If Aaron Rodgers makes one little throw, it's like the easiest throw of the year in the NFL. My team is right now the NFC East champ.
And then you guys are like 1-5, 1-6 in one-score game. The only game you won by...
You're changing this.
No, but Skip, hold on, wait a second. So the Eagles, you lost to Sam Darnold? Really?
My defense did.
Oh, not your defense. Now you see, the people at home see what you're doing.
My quarterback played his tail off in that game. Without either of those two-star tackles, without Amari Cooper, he brought them all the way back to a 2-point pass that was an obvious pass interference.
It was not an obvious.
It was completely obvious.
First of all, A-Rod played for an entire month without Devontae Adams. Now, we already know your guy.
Aaron Jones.
Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott. Aaron Jones. Zeke Elliott.
Well, Aaron Jones has had a much better overall year from start to finish than Zeke
All
Elliott
I'm saying is, hey.
Aaron Jones was the difference
The fans, the coaches, and the players have spoken.
Who's got the better defense, Green Bay or Dallas?
I don't know.
You've told me all year Green Bay's so much improved.
If you don't mind me asking, how many players did Green Bay have make the Pro Bowl on defense?
I don't know.
They had 2 on offense. Bakhtiari and A-Rod.
How many did Dallas have on defense?
They had 3 offensive linemen and the running back. That's again, Jenny. The running back made it.
Should either of those pass rushers have made it? Yes. Well, Preston Smith? Yes.
I mean, who
yes, that's a snub.
Whoa.
You know it and I know it. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that.
I mean, Chandler Jones is second in the NFL in sacks. I mean, what you want me to do about that?
But those guys were difference makers.
What about Nick Bosa?
Yeah.
The Bosa boy.
Okay. So what about him? And then I had to sit and watch on another, was it Sunday or Monday night at Kansas City? Aaron Rodgers gets lauded for the pass of the year in the NFL. And he admits after the game, to his credit, if we could see this, I was trying to throw it to Jimmy Graham.
It don't matter.
It floats over his head.
He made it work.
Oh, he just throws it, he whips it. It went to Jamal Williams in the back of the end zone. And he said, actually, I was trying to throw it to 6'10" or whatever he is, Jimmy Graham.
So I just want to know.
Way to go.
Yeah.
What winning team has Dak beat on the road? Because is Kansas City a winning team, Jenny? That's a winning team, right?
Yeah.
They beat them on the road.
My team finally beat a winning team this past year. And my team is in position to win the NFC East. Your team is probably going to win the North.
Okay, then.
So then
my team, hold on. The difference is my team is in position to be the number 1 overall seed. At best you can be is the 4th seed.
Wow.
That's the best you can be.
My guy is 4th in QBR. Your guy is 17th in QBR. All the top 6 made the Pro Bowl except my guy. Except my guy because of reputation.
See, here's the thing.
Shannon Sharpe has driven home my guy can't throw.
I remember.
Number 1 in catchable balls, but he can't throw.
I remember.
Way to go.
I remember Skip Bayless on his old show would stand on the table and beat the table. Peyton Manning would have better numbers, but Tom Brady would win the game, and winning was the most important thing. Now, all of a sudden, he want to flip it. Now, numbers are more important than winning. I won't let you do it, Skip. I won't let you do it.
Well, that was about Peyton Manning always coming up small in the postseason.
Hold on. Yo got mini-me. Yo got this big in the postseason. Won one game.
Boy, he's played really well.
Now, see, you see what he did? You see what he did, Jenny?
Well,
it took a 56 and a 51.
I don't know what it took.
Did Aaron Rodgers kick those
I don't know.
field goals?
Hold on.
No, Mason crossbar.
Hold on. You didn't say nothing about when Adam Vinatieri, the guy that made the 100th anniversary team, made those 2 kicks in the Super Bowl.
They were 56 and 51.
Skip, Coach Belichick said it's the clutchest kick he's ever seen.
Sure it was.
48 yards in a driving snowstorm.
Yeah, that was
Did Brady
clutch.
kick that?
No, that was...
Okay, then. I rest my case.
Was that from 56 yards?
It was from 48 in Foxborough.
Skip, this snub could fuel Dak at the
Fuel him
right
to do
time
what?
in the season to show
I am
show
happy
off.
for his sake.
In that
Because
sense.
the chip on his shoulder
Skip.
just got
It got
bigger.
bigger.
He's going to take it to Philadelphia,
Philly.
and he's going to say, watch this, Sharpe.
Skip, you got the 5th best brother. Right on.
I know you're going to keep saying that, but either way, it's going to fuel the guy.
No mercy.
So the Indiana Pacers snapped the Lakers' 14-game road winning streak last night, coming away with a 105-102 victory. LA was not only playing without Anthony Davis, but also Kyle Kuzma, both set out with ankle injuries. Still, the Lakers kept it close despite shooting just 47% from the free throw line as a team, and LeBron had 29-9 to keep the purple and gold in the game, but it was Rajon Rondo who missed a long three-pointer at the end that would have sent the game into OT. So Shannon, without AD, how much was LeBron to blame for the loss?
Well, he has to take a lot of the blame because he didn't play well. He got off to a great start. He was distributing the basketball. He was 4-6 in the first quarter, and then ended up going 4 of 14 for the rest of the ball game. And again, turnovers were a problem. He had 5 of their, I think, 13 turnovers. And I thought last night he settled too much. I don't have a problem. The first 3 quarters, you're trying to figure it out. You want to take threes, hoist them up. But in the fourth quarter, you got to take advantage of mismatch. You got Brogdon on you. You can't be shooting threes with Brogdon on you. You get Miles Turner, you get Sabonis, they switch on you. You got to be willing to drive the basketball, put the ball on the floor, and go to the hoop. I thought he settled entirely too much. I get it the first 3 quarters if you want to try to find your shot, but at some point in time you have to realize your shot's not falling. It's like, you know what? My three's not there. My outside shot is not there. Man, I got Malcolm Brogdon on me. Hey, get down on the block. Give him the ball in the post. Now, I know it's a little bit more difficult, Skip, because the thing is, the difference is when you have Dwight is not a threat outside. At least you can say, Anthony, get outside. Anthony Davis is a threat to shoot the 3. He's a threat to shoot the ball from 20. I get that. But LeBron and then have Dwight go to the other side. So Miles Turner, who was guarding Dwight Howard a lot, can't come to help and challenge you at the rim. But LeBron should have been on the block with Brogdon. And when they got the switch with Turner and Sabonis, LeBron's got to be willing to put the ball on the floor and get to the hole. Now, I know Frank Vogel probably hasn't addressed this, and maybe he's afraid to. But free throws are a problem, LeBron. Free throws are the problem, team. You was 47% last night. LeBron, you missed the back end of an and one. You missed 2 free throws after that, and then Dwight Howard missed 2. That's 5 points you gave away, and you lost by 3. That is becoming an issue. Now, I can assure you of this. No championship team shoots under 50% from the free throw line and become a championship. Because when you get in games of that down in the playoffs, the games are going to be nip-tuck. Every point is valuable. You can ill afford to give points away. And that's what you're doing when you miss free throws. You're giving points away. So LeBron has to take the lion's share of the blame for this one. He did not play well outside of the first quarter. I thought he settled far too much. And the free throws are starting to become an issue. I don't care what anybody else says. They're starting to become an issue.
You don't care what I say. I've been telling you that for
I ain't talking about you. You make your point. Leave me alone.
I thought that was reasonably objective by Shannon Sharpe or La Shannon Sharpe, and he's going to have to be careful because he's going to burn that bridge, that DM bridge.
But LeBron knows. I mean, he knows he has to do a better job. Skip, I mean, you look at he's 77% in the first quarter, then he goes to like 69, then he goes back up to 73, and now he's down to 63, 62% free throws in the fourth quarter. No!
So I thought last night was LeBron's big opportunity to make his MVP case because Anthony Davis could not play with a sprained ankle. And unfortunately for LeBron, I thought he helped make Anthony's case for MVP last night in absence. So the point was that the man you call the GOAT played a little more, to your point, like a lowercase goat, as in the derivative of scapegoat, as in you get the most blame for the loss. Because, to your point, he did miss 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. Not unusual for LeBron, but unfortunately the second 2 came with 2:53 left, and they could have extended the lead to 4. And at that point, maybe 4 could have helped, stood up. But he missed both of them, and I think it took some heart out of his team and gave life to the home team. And by the way, the home team is no joke. That's why it was a good test.
They're 11-3 at home.
Yeah, and they're 19-9 overall. So they're kind of a surprise team without the man that we had on our show on Friday, Victor Oladipo, who was at the game, obviously, and we talked to him about his ruptured quad, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to come back this year or not. I think he hopes to, but I think it's probably a little doubtful he's going to come back.
Very optimistic.
Very optimistic, but we'll see about that. Okay, so now what happens after he misses the free throws? And by the way, before I leave the missed free throws, do you realize over the last 10 seasons in what is called clutch time, which is the last 5 minutes of games that are close, late close games, number 1 and number 2 in missed fourth quarter or late free throws are Dwight Howard with 156 misses in clutch time, and LeBron is second on that list over the last 10 years with 122. Okay, this is just me. That stat alone disqualifies him from the GOAT discussion.
Stop it. It does not.
Because when you are a late game free throw line, late game, close game, free throw line liability, you're disqualified from the GOAT discussion.
No,
yeah, I'm sorry, because you got to be able to make your free throws late, and he just never has been able to do it. He's got late game demons. But the point was, he did fight off his demons momentarily, and he came back a little later with 140 left, and he actually stepped up and made 2 free throws.
He switched them. They didn't touch nothing.
Okay, so then I tweeted immediately as we got down to the end of the game. I tweeted, LeBron, drive the basketball, go to the free throw line and make those free throws if you have to, because you just made 2 of them. So your confidence should be rebuilt enough that, to all your points, they could not keep LeBron from the rim last night. They don't have anybody. Sabonis isn't strong enough. And Miles Turner isn't quick enough to keep LeBron from the basket. And
then when he was getting to the rim, what was he doing? You saw the pass, one behind the back, the one behind the shoulder to Dwight, and another one behind his back to JaVale, who laid that one in. So he can do whatever he wants because they got to come.
Good to great things happen every time he drives the ball to the basket. And I'm going to say it again because I say it again and again on this show. He's still the best passer in basketball, and he has always been the greatest driver of the basketball I have ever seen. He is an absolute freight train to the basket. He cannot be stopped.
Right.
And you can't keep him from the late game free throw line because that's really going to be your only hope to stop him is to send him to the line.
Right.
But he's going to have the courage and the confidence to go stand at that line and make those 2 free throws.
Sometimes I do think he gets discouraged, Skip, because there's a lot of time he goes to the line, goes to the bucket, and he doesn't get the call. And you see like what do I got to do? Because I know if that was James Harden, you guys would have given him that call. And so I think he gets frustrated. But then, even through all the frustrations, you see him bulldoze straight ahead, lowers his shoulder, and one. Just got to finish it off. Or they have to foul. I mean, they have to foul him, Skip, but you got to do that. You can't settle for jump shots when Malcolm Brogdon is your primary defender.
Okay, so now comes the turning point play of the night, and it's coming out of a timeout for the Lakers, so they're able to strategize, how are we going to pull this off?
Right.
And I'm sure LeBron was right in the middle of that. So they're down 2 with 36 seconds left. And LeBron is the quarterback, obviously, and initiates the play, and they kind of go around the horn a couple times, and then it comes back to LeBron. And he gets the switch off Brogdon onto Miles Turner.
Right.
And here he goes, and he drives the ball into the lane, and at the last second, he shies, and he says, no, I'm going to circle all the way back out, and I'm going to take a deep 3 that's almost like a fall-away 3 with Miles Turner lunging at him. And he missed it. Well, at that point, he was 0 for 5 from 3.
Correct.
At that point, he had not made a single shot outside the paint. So you know how he comes and goes on hot hand. He had a cold hand that night from distance.
Correct.
We've seen him in Game 1 a couple of years ago of the finals at Oracle. He had an incredibly hot hand. It will come and it will go.
Right.
But in this case, it was gone. So the only hope here is to drive the ball and go to if you have to go to the free throw line, go to the free throw line.
Go.
You need 2 points to tie the game.
Correct.
And you take a deep three and miss it fairly badly because you didn't have a hot hand. And there's a play off Rondo that was debatable at the end of the game, but still the call got reversed. So now Sabonis goes down to the other end, and he's got 2 free throws to ice the game. And
Correct.
he made the first one, but he misses the second one.
Correct.
And the Lakers don't have a timeout, so Dwight gets the rebound, and just Rondo runs and gets the ball from him.
Right.
Okay, here's my there's Dwight. He says, okay, Rondo. There goes LeBron. He's just sprinting to the other end on this side of the floor. Okay, this is just me. This also has driven me crazy over the years. In that situation, I want the
LeBron to get the ball.
quote-unquote, just go get the basketball. You're the guy.
I was thinking the same thing.
You're the guy. Don't run away from it. Run to the basketball.
Skip,
I know they're playing Rondo with him. And
I would give him this. If the ball was taken into the front court, okay, but not the back court. 9 seconds in the front court versus 9 seconds in the back court is something that's different.
Because the time is going to dwindle so quickly.
Yes.
You need your playmaker with the ball in his
Right.
hands. And then I don't care what you do with it.
Right.
If you don't, what did he do to Danny Green at Dallas? What did he do? He drove it underneath and they needed a 3.
Right.
And at the last second, I'm saying, what are you doing? Are you going to dunk it and end the game?
Right.
And he kicked it down the baseline to Danny Green for
Correct.
the 3. Okay, let him make the play.
Correct.
Don't run away from it. Don't make Rondo, who's 6 feet tall.
Right.
Don't make Rondo wind up pulling up for a 3 because he's never been a great 3-point shooter.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. Whatever they drew up out of that timeout or when they went and discussed it, Rondo taking a 32-foot 3
I don't think
was
that
not
was,
it.
That might have been the last option.
Yes.
Right?
Well, he was right. He was the last option right before Dwight.
Okay.
Dwight was the last option, but he was right before that.
Rondo has improved this year as a
Yes.
3-point shooter, but do I want him taking that
Not
shot?
the last, Skip, not the last second.
Not that shot.
No.
So guess who they were also missing last night? Kyle Kuzma.
Correct.
I've told you again and again, he's the closer for this team. If Kyle Kuzma had been on the floor and taken that shot to tie the game, I'd give him a 60% chance of making that.
Well,
he makes those shots.
Yep. They should not even been in this situation.
Okay, that's fair. I'll buy
They should
that.
not even been in this situation. Once he found out how they're going to play him, they're going to play me Brogdon. Now, granted, if I get on the block, I know they're going to come. They're going to send something because Brogdon is too small for me. But I'm going to make them double me. But I'm going to spend most of my time on the block.
I don't know why not. Because that's where he was doing his damage last night.
I mean, and that's some of the things that like Bron, you can make a living there. Make a living on the block.
I agree. And most nights, he's got a mismatch, somebody guarding
Yes.
him who's smaller than
Yes.
him. Most nights.
Okay. Well, there's
I
still
appreciate your
24.
objectivity.
And Shannon, it's nice when you are honest about your team.
I'm always that.
Pure honesty.
That's why
That was actually a first.
that's why I can say. I'm going to be honest and say he the GOAT.
So guess what it is now? It's on to Milwaukee.
Here
we go.
They just caught an L without Porzingis.
Oh, I know.
Without Luka.
I know. They were looking ahead to this game.
Guess what they're going to be looking? They're going to be looking at as we walk out there with that dub.
Big L.
Yep.
All right.
You
I
want some
would
dew
like
on it?
your
You want some dew on it?
Dew?
I can do right now.
I might. Let me just wait until.
Think about it.
I just want to make sure. I got to hear what the injury situation
Oh, so you want to see if Anthony Davis plays or not?
Yeah.
That's a shame, Skip. You ought to be
gotta
giving-
wait, no mercy. In a critical game for the Cowboys' playoff hopes, Ezekiel Elliott had his best performance of the season against the Rams on Sunday. Zeke rushed for 117 yards, 2 touchdowns with another 43 yards in the passing game. However, The Athletic pointed out that this game would barely crack the top 10 of Elliott's best career games since entering the league 4 years ago. So, Shannon, what does this tell you?
Well, it tells me the Cowboys need to get back to what they need to be. It's no coincidence that they scored the most points when they had the most rush attempts and the most yards in the season. This is what they are. Zeke's numbers are down because when you fall behind by 3 scores, remember, Jenny, there are 4 games of the 14 when they've fallen behind by at least 3 scores.
Okay.
Well, when you fall behind by 3 scores, Skip, you run the football, especially late in the ball game, to possess the ball. You're trying to run the timeout. When you fall behind, you're trying to run the ball. What you trying to possess the ball for? You're trying to get the ball in the end zone as soon as possible. Obviously, you can't get the ball in the end zone as soon as possible running it. So this is one of the reasons why Zeke numbers are down. But players know, coaches know, that's why he got voted to the Pro Bowl. And the quarterback did.
They don't know. It's all reputation. Well, Zeke, he's the best.
No,
I'll vote for Zeke.
No, Skip, look, he still has Zeke is still a big game back when given the opportunity. But he's not like Tony Pollard is one of these scat backs where they can have a monster day and have 10 or 11 catches, 10 or 11 carries. But that's not what Zeke is. Zeke is a workhorse, is a bell cow back. So in other words, the more you give it to him, the stronger he gets down in the end. There's no coincidence that they're 2-7 when Dak throws more than 32 times. And they were undefeated when he throws less than that. That's not an accident, Jenny, because, I'm one of these things like...
You know what's funny about that stat? 32 is a lot of passes.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take 32.
Think about it. They scored the most points. And what was Saturday? Dak had his least passing attempts. He had his least completions. They scored the most points, looked the best. Now I got everybody, even Troy, that left him for dead just a week earlier, said nobody wants to face this team.
Yep.
Let that sink in for just a second. That's not an accident. See, because here's the way I look at it, Skip. Too many coincidences is not a coincidence. Yeah.
So
Zeke,
I think it's about my turn.
Zeke, Skip, Zeke is still a top-tier back when given the opportunity. But when you fall behind by 21, you fall behind by 24, you neutralize him because that's what you want to do, Skip. You take the ball out of his hands. So he's not effective if you take the ball out of his hands.
Your turn, Skip.
The irony of what the Hall of Famer across from me just said. They got back to who they should be. The truth is, they actually didn't get back to who they should be, who they were. They didn't. They went away from type. They went against their routine. They became completely unpredictable Sunday against the Rams. They took Zeke out of the attack early on. What have I banged the desk on all year about? Bang, bang, bang. I'm sick and tired of seeing Zeke on first down go for 1 yard, 2 yards, -1, 0, 1, 2. Every time I look up, it's 2nd and 9, it's 2nd and 8, it's 2nd and 10. It's hard to play behind the chains, as they call it. So what happened on Sunday against the Rams, Mr. Sharpe? They flipped the script. I don't know if it's Kellen Moore, I don't know if it's Jason Garrett, I don't know if it's a combination, but pre-week, building up to that game, they said, let's self-scout. What are we doing the worst? We're handing it to Ezekiel Elliott on first down. What have they done all year? He has the second most first down attempts in the whole league. He averages 17th in yards per rush. So it's going nowhere slowly on first down.
Okay.
So what did they do? The first 8 first downs of the game on Sunday, Zeke didn't touch the ball. The first 8 times they had 1st and 10, he didn't touch the football. They threw it to Witten. They threw it to Amari. Dak ran it for 7 yards. They threw it to Witten. Jet sweep to Tavon. They threw it to Witten. Tony Pollard went 8 yards on a running play that shook him up and shocked him because they had the 2 backs in, so they went the other way, used Zeke as a decoy. And the 8th one, was a throw to Michael Gallup. They were saying, don't give it to Zeke. Let's get going first. Then we'll give it to Zeke after that. They flipped the script.
So they didn't hand it to Zeke on first down. But they had 30-plus attempts for 243 yards. So even though they didn't run it on first, they got back to what they did.
They did not get back to who they've been all year because they have been the most predictable first down team in all of football.
No, they got back to what made them successful over the last 3 years, which was running Zeke.
Okay, but not on first down. That's all I cared about. They didn't do it on first down. So here's the man. Right now, Zeke has the second most carries in the whole league. He's 23rd in yards per attempt. Okay, so help me out here. He's not having the kind of year he had before. He is making now $55 million guaranteed dollars.
Skip, you can't
$55 million.
Skip, you can't base things on money because he's making $50 million. He should rush for 2,000 yards.
But I keep telling you, he's not quite what he used to be. So how about 20-plus yard gains?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty big deal for a running back. He has 3 this year. He's on route to, he's going to have a career low. In his rookie year, he had 14 of those.
What do you have next year?
He missed 6 games, but he had 5. And then last year, he had 11.
Right.
This year, he's got 3 with 2 games left.
Right.
3, so something fell off. I kept telling you all year, I'm not seeing the burst. I saw him run angry. I saw him run the best he's run all year against the Rams. So I give you that. But he now ranks 5th in rushing in the league, and that's going to be a career low. His yards rushing is going to be a career low, and he hadn't been in the league that long.
I mean, let us see again. Jenny, the guy go run for 13 1,600 yards, and they say, no, he a bum.
Okay, nobody said he's a bum. It's just that he's not what he was the last 3 years.
Skip.
Not what he was.
Skip. Only one guy has more 100-yard games. That's Chubb Rock, Nick Chubb of Cleveland.
Okay, but I'm just saying, we just went 5 straight games in which he didn't have 100 yards until this one. And this one, they got away from how they were utilizing him because when they did the predictable, let's just line up, and it's not even clever or creative. They just line up, and on first down, they say, let's do what Shannon says. Let's feed the beast. Feed Zeke.
Skip.
1 yard, no yards, minus one.
Look at the difference. Kyle Shanahan runs the ball on first down, but it's the way you run the ball. It's the formation and the sets in which you run the ball out of. Mm-hmm. If you just line up in the eye and just hand it to him, hell yeah, they're going to be geared up to stop that.
Hey,
you got to get creative.
3 guys who have a little burst to them.
But I'm saying, Skip, it also has to do with creativity.
Okay.
I mean, there's no reason. Now, you got 3 guys that made the Pro Bowl offensive lineman. You got a 4th guy that's making a ton of money. So what's the problem?
How many Mondays did I come in here and say, my offensive line got its golden tails whipped?
Exactly.
They could not win the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Okay, and they had 3 guys make it. I don't know. Help me out. I don't know. Reputation.
Well, offensive linemen, Skip, that's why you see a lot of them. That's why you see them to go 10, 12, 13 years, because an offensive lineman can't get stats. It's based on what the running back does and what you because, Skip, when you look at it, you're like, okay, who's on a good team? Who went last year? That's because that's what you do with offensive line. It ain't like he catching touchdown passes or running for 100-yard games. So you look at, okay, Zeke's having a good year. Because I'm surprised. Look, because I don't think Seattle had any guys. Carolina didn't have any guys. Those guys got more rush yards than Zeke. Christian McCaffrey is running away with yards from scrimmage, Skip.
Okay.
And he didn't have not one guy.
And Chris Carson's, I looked at his numbers, they're right there with Zeke.
Very comparable.
Right there.
And they didn't have not one offensive lineman.
Okay, but I can use the 1-loss record against Zeke. He's on a team that's 7-7, and Seattle has the number 1 seed.
Right.
So if the yards and all the numbers across the board are about the same, shouldn't Chris Carson go to the Pro Bowl?
Hey.
You could.
You can make that case for him. But I think the thing is, the coaches and the players says, I'd rather face Chris Carson than face Zeke Elliott.
Okay, they probably do. Okay, that's reputation. And that's what he was, but he hasn't been. Maybe he's come back to that now. Or maybe they've figured out how to work him in on second down or the second down.
Well, your guy got a reputation because you remember his rookie year, he went to the Pro Bowl. So your guy has a reputation. Your quarterback has his quarterback has a reputation because he went to the Pro Bowl as a rookie. He was Offensive Player of the Year as a rookie. So he has a reputation. So this notion that he does not have one.
Well, he went to the Pro Bowl as a 3rd-year player.
Okay, then. So he has a reputation. So in other words, but
he has a reputation from Shannon Sharpe of inaccurate.
Why you put that on me?
I don't know.
Why
Everybody says that.
I didn't say that.
I mean, everybody's questions his accuracy. I got it. It's not just you.
All I'm saying is that I do not believe Zeke. Now, is Zeke going to rush for 1,600 yards? Probably not. But see, Skip, when you have such great success early, if you just measure Eric Dickerson by his first 2 years, he was terrible. He rushed for almost 4,000 yards in 2 seasons. He went 18.08, went 21.05. Well, we're never going to see that again in the first 2 seasons, Skip. So if you just measure ED by that, man, ED, you were terrible the rest of your career. But you can't do that. You can't measure Zeke and say, well, he went 16.06 his rookie year, missed 6 games, almost led the league in rushing again, led the league. But if you don't lead the league every year, he could terrible. No, you can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
If you give him by far the most money any running back has made in the history of this league, you should expect the same yardage you got in his best year.
Well, hold on. Well, Tom, when the last time Tom had a 50-touchdown season?
Okay, simple as this. Do you think Zeke has run as hard and as effectively this year?
I believe he's run as hard. I believe the opportunities are few and far between because they fall behind. Plus, you've admitted that the offensive line has been getting their royal tails kicked more often than you're used to seeing.
Okay, but I've told you from the start, Zeke hasn't even looked in shape to me. It looked like he was running in Cabo sand.
He's in shape.
And all of a sudden, he had to play his way in shape, and it's horrifying to me that it took all the way to week
14,
number 15.
Game 14.
To get a performance out of him that ranks 10th in his career.
Well, I would be disappointed if he's not in shape because you want your guys to come to camp in shape. There's plenty enough time. And guys, you can hire nutritionists, you have trainers, you have ways. It's a lot different than what it was before. Because guys used to go to camp, Skip, you go to a camp for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Guys would use camp to get in shape. Now, you should come, with the amount of money that you're getting paid in the camp is going up again, Skip, there is no reason for any player, regardless of position, for you to not come in shape.
Okay, and I'm going to say this one more time.
Okay.
As many yards as they ran for in this game against the Rams, the key plays in this game were executed with the arm of the quarterback. It's on the opening touchdown drive, it's 3rd and 10 to Amari.
Right.
And then it's 3rd and 9 to Amari, and then 3rd and 10 to Jason Witten for the touchdown, and then it's 49 yards to Tavon for a touchdown. Those are the plays that made it happen.
But you shouldn't be surprised by that because think about this, Skip. Look how Baltimore runs the ball. But Lamar Jackson lead the league in touchdown passes.
Okay.
So that when you can run the ball like they were running, being able to run the ball, play action's gonna be double. That's why you see guys like, how do you guys get it wide open? Because they worried about Mark Ingram, made the Pro Bowl. They worried about Lamar Jackson keeping it, who's gonna win the MVP. And so now the lanes are spread and he's taking, okay, David Andrews made the Pro Bowl. Well, they got so many, we're gonna talk about that, Skip. But that's what it is. Yes, you run the ball, but eventually, if you run the ball effectively, the pass and touchdown stats is going to be astronomical.
But to your point, it took the throws to get them to 14-7, and then after that, here we came.
Right. Okay.
And then it was eat, Zeke, eat after that.
Yep.
What jersey are you going to wear this weekend? Has that been decided? You wear the jerseys during the
I got to call.
games,
Hey, Eagles, y'all need to send me a walking tour. I ain't going to throw it in the trash. I'm going to wear me a walking tour jersey.
Are you?
Yep.
I don't see you as a jersey guy.
If you put it on, you might fumble your cup on the floor.
No, there you go. Oh, you got Joe.
I like that. That was good.
I swap with I do have an Eagles helmet back at home at Pro Bowl.
Really?
I swapped with Irvin Fryer one year.
Irving Fryer?
Oh. Yep.
That's a weird swap.
Get that sent out for you.
I wanted the Cowboys. Everybody, Skip, that's the Cowboys and the Raiders are the most popular Pro Bowl. Even the punter can trade his helmet with any top-tier quarterback.
Regardless,
because everybody wants that Cowboy and the Cowboys and the Raiders. The Bengals can't give their helmets away.
Yeah, they're trying, but
the Bengals and the Browns can't give their helmets away.
It's America's team. So you always say, they haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995, but they still want the helmet.
Most popular.
And the Raiders, too. The Raiders, man.
I can see that.
I started to steal me a Raiders helmet.
Did you really?
No mercy.
LeBron James has made no secret that he's anti-load management this year, doubling down on his stance this week and saying, quote, "Why wouldn't I play if I'm healthy? It doesn't make any sense to me." Many people thought this was a veiled shot at the Clippers, and Doc Rivers didn't mince words when asked about it last night after the Clippers win over the Suns. Take a listen.
It's our philosophy. I don't know what theirs are. I think theirs is whatever LeBron says it is, to be honest. That makes a lot of sense to me. But, no, I think I like what we're doing. I think it's the smart thing to do. And, who knows? We'll see at the end.
Well,
Whoa.
Shannon, what's going on here?
Doc didn't need to take a shot. He could have easily said, like he said, I don't really know the Lakers. That's the Lakers, how they do business over there. But this is our philosophy. Now, let me tell you about how Doc is always talking about this here. Now, when the Big Three got together in Boston, Paul Pierce was already 30 years of age, almost 31. Paul Pierce played 80 games, 81 games, 71 games, 80 games. Now, Jenny, there's only 82 games in the season.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure where's the load management at. Okay, Ray Allen. Ray Allen plays 73, 79, 80, 80. Jenny, I'm trying to see where's the load management. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Kawhi Leonard told them, so you know what, I'd be willing to sign with you guys if you go get Paul Pierce. So LeBron tells them Lakers what to do. So who in the hell telling the Clippers what to do? Because Sam Presti got on Wojo's podcast and said Paul George's agent called him and said he and Kawhi had been talking for several weeks, over a month, and they would like to play together, preferably for the Clippers. So Doc, I just want you to tell me, be honest. Since we boys, we honest, we speak truthfully, we get a little chuckles here and there. Did y'all go recruit Paul George before Kawhi brought this to your attention? Because let's be all the way 100. Kawhi Leonard told you, I don't play back-to-backs. So Kawhi Leonard has the same amount of control with the Clippers as LeBron has with the Lakers. But Doc want to get a little chuckle. Oh, they do what LeBron says. So
I don't think he was chuckling.
No. I'm not saying he chuckled. I'm saying the media who he was. They got.
I think that was nervous chuckles because they were like, "Ooh."
Skip. Doc played with Dominique. Superstars have always had more power in basketball than in any other sport. That's why they can say, okay, I don't want that coach. He got up out of there. Even after when Magic won a championship with the Westhead, Skip, it was Westhead, Paul Westhead. Magic said, nah, he got to go. And Dr. Buzz says, okay. When Larry Bird wanted a different coach, okay. So it's always been like that. This notion that Doc wants you to believe that LeBron James has some power that no other superstar has ever had. Of course, LeBron says, I want to play. LeBron wasn't taking no shot at Kawhi. LeBron says, if I'm healthy, I'm going to play. That ain't got nothing to do with me, with them. If they don't want to play, so be it. I ain't knocking them, but why y'all knocking me from my hustle? But Doc, Skip, all Doc had to say, how the Lakers, Clippers, how Lakers do business, what they eat don't make us go. We do what we do. But he tried to take a shot. But little did he know, Kawhi's pulling the strings over there. And Doc and Balmer and all those, and Lawrence Frank, Kawhi's Giuseppe, Geppetto, and them Pinocchio. Because Kawhi pulling the string. And you know it. And you know it, Skip Bayless. Don't do that, Skip.
My turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Thank you.
Skip, what do you got?
Thank you, Doc, for defending your guy. That's what he was doing, because I was with everything you just said until your last statement. LeBron wasn't taking no shot at Kawhi. Yes, he was. He has made this whole year about me versus him. And LeBron is preaching to his choir, and it is the hugest choir in the history of sports. His blind witnesses number in the billions around the globe, and they will, they're the puppets. They do whatever LeBron says that they should do. And he's been telling them, this guy who thinks it's Kawhi Town now, he doesn't play, but I play every game.
LeBron ain't got to play no more games, and Kawhi never be the player that he is. You see, Skip Bayless, that's why they have to run these commercials with Kawhi. Let me ask you a question, Jenny. You ever seen Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Yeah.
Because the audience that they're trying to appear to is not watching on television. LeBron James don't have to do no commercials because we already know he's the GOAT.
He does commercials, every other commercial on athletic.
Whoa.
I just saw a commercial.
Whoa.
I said, Sprite.
No. We don't do shit. He out there doing shoes. Ain't nobody buying them hospital shoes. You got to go online and go to a medical clinic to get those shoes. You can't go to what you call Foot Locker. I was at Foot Locker just the other day. Got me a pair of Dunk. Gustavo, good looking out for your boy. Shoe Palace, hook your boy up right on up. Hold on. I didn't see those new. I ain't see them on Kawhi. Yeah. No. Now I went to the nursing section. I went to CVS, and guess what I saw on the back wall, Skip? Them orthopedics.
Oh,
right there with the white pantyhose where the nurses be wearing.
No.
Doc Rivers, I think their philosophy is whatever LeBron says it is.
That was the part.
Boom. True. Trust me, LeBron has more power overall in that organization than Kawhi has in his organization.
Bulljive.
Nope.
Bulljive.
LeBron has his hand in everything that the Lakers do. Kawhi just wants to load manage. Just leave me be. I don't need to. You can do whatever you else want, but I will not play back-to-back.
Hold on. He said, can you get Paul George, but keep everything else intact?
Well, obviously.
Okay, then. Yeah. LeBron James said, can y'all give me Anthony Davis? I want AD.
Yeah, what's
the difference?
What you're omitting is the Lakers are on their knees for Kawhi to join up with AD and LeBron, and he said, nah, I don't want any part of that because I don't want to live in his world.
Hold on, if you don't mind me asking, what was Steve Ballmer doing? Did you remember when he walked in? Jenny, do you remember they had the press conference? The man came in with pom-poms and his shirt.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Excited.
Okay, then. So what you talking about, Skip?
Well, I mean, he left LeBron high and dry or low and dry.
Skip, we would have loved to have him. Now, I would have said high and dry if they didn't get AD. But you realize they already had AD.
They had him. I got it.
So we're just trying to add another piece.
So Kawhi Leonard said, no, I don't want a sure thing over there. I want to take him on. And Kawhi's been quoted in the past as saying, no, I don't want to play with him. I want to play against him.
That's fine, Skip. He can play against him. But history will never say Kawhi Leonard was better than LeBron. You know that, I know that, and the basketball historians know that.
Well, that could change if Kawhi wins another championship and maybe another one and another one.
No player that's never won a regular season MVP will ever be thought of as a GOAT player. That's impossible.
What if he keeps winning finals MVPs? What if he wins, let's just do hypothetical, 3 straight more finals MVPs to go with his 2 previous? 5 finals MVPs, you'd start saying, man, I don't know.
Hold on, how can a guy, hold on. Because the finals MVP is based over 7 games. A regular season MVP is based over 82 games.
Sure.
So you mean to tell me you can be the best in 7?
All you want, but people in LA would start saying, man, this guy, he owns Staples now.
No, first of all, they're tenants. They're in the basement. They're not allowed to come upstairs until we vacate the building. You notice that, Jeannie? When we there, they can't be there.
They are the monster in the basement.
They're in the basement.
Yep.
They're Igor. That's what they are. They're Igor, Skip. They are not allowed to be seen when we're at home.
LeBron has made this whole season about Kawhi Leonard. You know it, and I know it. Every word out of his mouth is, when I'm healthy, when LeBron, he goes third person. When LeBron is healthy, LeBron plays basketball.
Okay.
I was born to play basketball.
Because that's Skip.
The Lakers have played 28 games so far, and he's played in all 28.
Okay.
Clippers have played 29, and Kawhi's played in 21. Right on schedule.
Okay, Skip. LeBron is the face of the NBA. Kawhi Leonard is not the face of the NBA. Don't you want the face of the NBA to be your best ambassador?
So what's more important right now to LeBron? Ambassador or winning another championship?
But LeBron says I can do both. Michael, hold on. They never. Hold on.
He could do both.
When Michael Jordan was playing 82 games, nobody said anything. Michael, you need to rest because see what you're trying to do is that nobody said Michael Jordan lost to the Pistons or the Big 3 Celtics because he was tired. They said he lost to a better team. But the moment LeBron James loses is because he's tired. You don't ever want to give those teams credit. I won't let you do that, Skip. I won't let you do it. If he loses, they lost to a better team. Because to beat somebody 4 times, you're obviously the better team. But see, you never did that with Mike. When Mike lost, you said the better team won. But now LeBron lose, he was tired. If he'd have took 5 games off, nah.
Well, that's all I heard back in 2015 when he blew Game 4 in his house up 2-1. All I heard across the debate desk was he ran out of gas.
Skip,
the best conditioned player in the history of basketball?
Hold on. There have been times that Michael Jordan ran out of gas in a basketball game.
I don't remember one.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Hold up. So he never lost in the playoffs?
Well, he lost, but not because he ran out of gas.
So you can say whatever the reason you want.
Nobody ever said, boy, he looks tired tonight. Nope.
So I don't know what happened when Nick Anderson stripped that ball from him in the '95 playoffs, and they got bounced.
Tired.
Well, I don't know why.
You really never remember a time where you thought
He was
tired.
He was.
That's crazy.
He was.
But
he
that's
was. Trust
crazy
me.
to think about.
There's no way.
Hey,
He's not Kipchoge.
He had the flu and played one of the greatest games he's ever had.
He wasn't playing no 45 minutes. Think about what LeBron had to do.
So let's go back to LeBron James. He is now averaging 35 minutes a game, which is the 5th most in this whole league, and he's in year 17.
Which is also the fewest in his career.
Last night, he played a game-high 35 minutes at Indiana. Nobody on either team played more than 35 minutes that LeBron played.
Okay.
And he is playing the most dangerous game of his career because he's trying to put Kawhi, he's trying to shame Kawhi by saying, I'm healthy, I play.
Skip.
This is a dangerous game.
You do realize that they just play in the same arena. Kawhi's not LeBron's contemporary.
He's threatened. Clearly threatened.
It's like Tiger Woods. It don't matter what Jordan Spieth does. It doesn't matter what all these golfers do. They'll never be Tiger. He'll never be LeBron.
Okay, so what's happening right here? What's the subtext to this? Do you realize that LeBron James is now 7 minutes away from passing Dirk on the all-time minutes list?
Yes.
He's only 22 minutes away from passing Kobe Bryant on the all-time minutes list. That's about to happen in this game against the Bucks on national TV. And they will stop the presses and stop the game and throw a big party and confetti will rain down.
Let's be real.
He passed Kobe in minutes played.
But you got to realize, Skip, LeBron came in as the face of a franchise, playing major minutes from the jump. Kobe did not. Kobe was playing 12 minutes, 13 minutes his first year. You remember when he airballed against Utah? And then the last couple of years in the league, Skip, you know he had the torn labrum, he had the Achilles injury, and Dirk was riding the parade. He was afloat. He was the homecoming king. He was riding the last 3 years. He wasn't playing no major minutes, Skip. He was playing like 10 minutes a night.
But nobody's going to talk about that. They're going to say, LeBron pulled off another feat. All he's got are statistical feats. He can't challenge Michael Jordan, the obvious GOAT, in championships. It's 6-0 versus 3-6. But he can start saying, I've played more minutes.
But I'm saying, hold up. So now we say he's the GOAT. But so what are we going to do with Russell's 11-1? Does that mean anything?
Who's the best player ever?
I'm just asking you a question. What are you basing it on? Because what is Kareem? Kareem got 6 MVPs. What are we basing it on?
6-0 in the finals with
6 MVPs.
Eye test.
Clutch shots. The most points.
Clutch versus not clutch.
How about it? The most unstoppable shot in NBA history.
I thought you said LeBron was the GOAT. Why are you bringing up Bill Russell and Kareem?
I'm just saying.
Are you making a new GOAT case?
No.
I don't know.
I'm asking you, what is your criteria?
Eye test.
Well, my eyes.
6-0 test.
Well, you need to get you got astigmatism.
Against
your eye crossed.
No.
You need to go get somebody right here. Get your eye right.
I got LASIK. I don't need glasses.
Well, they got better. LASIK started 20, 30 years ago. They're going way back.
How long has it been?
No, probably about 50 years ago. I think they had LASIK way back when. But anyway,
I got mine 22 years.
Well, you need to go get it updated.
Perfect. I need to get LASIK.
I got 2015.
Hold on, Skip.
Should Dak have made the Pro Bowl?
Skip.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Impressive.
Wait a minute, Skip. Hold on.
I can read the prompter.
Even as a doctor, you got to go get refresher courses. You don't say I became a doctor in 1950 and I ain't gonna get no refresher course in 1985.
I'm gonna clue you into what he's trying to pull off. LeBron right now, it's just longevity statistical records because he's now, if you look at points, he's 1,500 points behind Karl Malone. He's going to pass him.
Yeah, ain't gonna pass him.
He's about 4,000 points behind Kareem. I think he's got a chance, but he's got to play 35 minutes a night. 35 minutes. He's got to pile up the minutes to pile up the points. And guess what happens if you keep playing high minutes as opposed to my guy who's smart about it and he load manages?
Oh, yeah, your guy now.
That. Guess what?
Your guy. I can't believe that you claimed that man. After that man quit.
I'm going to knock on wood before I say this. You know what's coming. I'm knocking on wood because I'm not wishing upon anybody. He's in his 17th year, and what happened in his 16th year? I heard a pop on Christmas Day. Yeah. I heard a pop.
Yeah.
And he was gone for what? It seemed like 2 months.
And it should have been. And he was never the same, but look at him now.
Okay, he heard a pop in his groin.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have another pop on Christmas Day this year.
Well, I hope we don't hear another pop in that tendon. Because remember when he quit on your team, 73 games, you said he quit. You said the man quit on your team.
Yeah, because he didn't hear a pop.
Yeah,
he imagined.
But he quit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Jenny. I don't know.
Hey, this guy's been load managing
I'm a forgiving man. I'm a very forgiving man. But because I forgive you, don't mean I have to forget it.
All right. I hear it.
Very important to raise the fool, but she ain't raised a damn fool.
No mercy.
So Pro Bowl rosters were announced last night, and while Dallas had 4 players from its league-leading offense make the cut, Dak Prescott wasn't one of them. The NFC went with Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback instead. The Rodgers over Dak pick definitely raised some eyebrows, considering Prescott has more touchdowns and passing yards than Aaron, as well as a better completion percentage. And we're now joined by Fox Sports NFL analyst and 2-time Super Bowl champ, James Harrison. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know
James.
what? I can't compete with this shirt game.
No.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is this?
Oh.
That's what we're here with. Let's get it going.
Oh, you've renamed the show?
I'm just saying that's kind of what it turns into. Dak definitely did not deserve to make it over AA round.
He thought you were going to say D.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Have you been listening to that
I'm
guy?
positive. Yeah. He has a few things that are better, but at the end of the day, he's on a team that is 7-7. He has, 1,000 more yards? That's probably at garbage time, right?
That's exactly what it is.
That's fourth quarter garbage time yards. He still doesn't have what is it? A better...
One win. He had one win over winning team.
Yeah. Okay. And on
Here,
top
let
of that,
him speak for you.
Listen. And on top of that, his defense. He has a great defense behind him, and he still can't find
Who
a
has
way.
a great defense?
7. They're ranked 7. They got
Dak's
a 7th
defense?
ranked.
Are you
He got a
kidding me?
7th ranked defense.
Yeah, how about in points allowed?
Ron is working with 23rd. What is we talking about? What is we
And all I've heard all year is Aaron's defense is
He got
much
more
better.
picks, too. He has more touchdowns. What, 2 more touchdowns?
2 more touchdowns.
2 more touchdowns.
9 more picks.
More picks. And you're thinking that he should have made over Aaron? No.
Absolutely.
But that's what I can't understand. Why you don't make the argument with Drew Brees? He the one that missed 5 games.
Yeah.
You can make the argument with Drew Brees, but you want to pick.
Numbers not even close.
But he want to pick a fight with A-Rod.
Still 11-3.
I'll pick a fight with Drew Brees.
Now,
All 3 of those guys.
I would, actually. I thought about it last
Thank you.
night. But I thought I'll just focus on your guy.
Exactly.
Because he is the transcendent
He
thrower
is.
of the football. The
He-
greatest thrower of football
Dude,
ever.
he got it.
Never been anything
he can
like
hit it
before.
anywhere. He can hit it anywhere from anywhere. On a run, too.
Yeah, and the last time I saw him in the Super Bowl was back in the dark ages beating you guys, right?
When was the last time Cowboys was in the Super Bowl?
Well, that's not the question.
I'm just asking.
We're
You
talking
brought it
about
up.
Aaron Rodgers' reputation.
It does, Skip.
We're talking about his play.
But here's the thing. You keep saying like Dak has never been to the Pro Bowl, like Dak doesn't have a reputation. He does. But when the players get down to it and they look at it, and James and I both, James looked at offensive players, I look at defensive players. I'm looking at, hold on, wait a minute. You getting all these numbers, y'all 7-7? So if that's the case, why didn't James make it?
He should have been number 1.
James got more passing touchdowns.
MVP.
More yards. So you ain't complaining about Jameis?
Why not?
Because,
He
he's
got
on
a
America's
star
team.
on his helmet.
Is it my turn?
It's supposed to be
No,
America's team, right? America's team's supposed to vote their player in. He ain't even get a high number of votes from his people. It's supposed to be America's team. They can't even get him in.
7-7. You're 1-5 against winning teams. He has 9 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in those games. He's thrown 11 interceptions, which is more than Mitchell Trubisky. And
Preach.
And if you look at his numbers, most of those numbers they came in 2 categories. They came against blowouts against Miami, Washington, and the Giants, and they came from when they were behind by 3 scores or more.
Played him twice.
So when you look at it like that, I'm talking about in meaningful games. I'm talking about nip tuck. I'm talking about the game right there. It could go either way. He did nothing. You remember when the game could go either way in New Orleans? He did nothing. When the game would go either way against the Jets, he did nothing, and he lost.
Oh, he did nothing against the Jets. Are you kidding me? He was sensational against the Jets.
How sensational was you caught an L?
Well, he threw a 2-point pass that should have sent it to overtime, and Marcus May hung all over Jason.
No, he didn't.
He wore him like a coat.
Yeah.
It should have been like 8 flags should have thrown on the
You ought to be-
thrown on the
Skip,
play.
you ought to skip.
I'm serious.
Skip.
It was
was
an
a fair.
obvious foul.
It is. I will concede this. Now, it's unusual that you could be ranked so high offensively and your quarterback doesn't make it, but it just goes to show you that the defensive players, what they put value in. They put value in what's your win-loss record and when are you doing this? When are these numbers coming?
Thank you. That's what QBR. That's why I love that stat. It takes into account how significant was that throw at that moment? And did you help with your legs as well as your arm? It takes into all the playmaking that you do in a game. And that sums up this. You know what? Aaron Rodgers, most of his play this year has been in garbage time.
No, stop it.
He's had a garbage year.
You ought to be ashamed.
You know what? By his standards, I called it mediocre earlier in the show, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought about it, he's had a garbage year. By his standards, by the lofty standard, you say he's the greatest thrower of the football ever. He ranks 17th in this league in QBR. It's abysmal. But if I look at the top 6 in QBR, my guy's right in the middle at 4th. And it goes Lamar, and obviously Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees. Here's my guy. And then there's Russell Wilson. Then there's Deshaun. And my guy's right in the middle. So those are the top 6 in QBR. What's missing there? Oh, one of those guys didn't make the Pro Bowl.
And
then you have to go all the way down to 17th in QBR to find the guy who knocked him out.
You got a guy that may not even make the playoffs.
But Skip,
Oh, well, that's about to be told on Sunday.
But hold on.
I thought, wait a second. I thought you said yesterday you gave the
I
edge
said
to the
they
Dallas
may not.
Cowboys.
I said they
you did
may
not
not.
say may not. You said
I gave the
they
edge to
may.
Dallas, but I just now, I
Let me
play
ask you a
devil's
question.
advocate.
But think about it. You said, look at the guys with the high QBRs. You had Lamar, you had Mahomes,
Yep.
you had Russell Wilson,
Yep.
you had Deshaun.
Yep.
What's going on? Look at those guys' record. 11-3, 11-3,
The record
11-3,
alone.
11-3, 9-5. What's going on? One of these things does not belong here. One of these things is not the same.
My guy has been surrounded by nothing but underachievers everywhere.
How many players they got in the Pro Bowl over there?
My
They got 3 offensive linemen, right?
2 of the 3
And a
did
running
not
back.
deserve to be in the Pro Bowl, and I already told you
And
that.
your quarterback didn't either. That's why he's not there.
right.
My quarterback leads this league in what are termed catchable passes. That's extraordinary. You got to put that in the Pro Bowl alone.
No, you
Second
don't.
in yards passing. You can't discount that. You can't tell me garbage yards because he got them back in all those games. It wasn't like they got blown out. One time did they get blown out.
Skip.
Guess what happened to Aaron Rodgers at Chargers? Guess what happened to Aaron Rodgers at Niners? Abysmal happened.
Yeah.
His QBRs were 14-9 on a scale of 0
That's what
to
would happen to y'all if
Those
y'all
are
go play the
all-time bad games. My quarterback
Worse.
didn't have anywhere near as bad a game as Aaron had twice, and he made the Pro Bowl. That's just outrageously wrong.
But Skip, here's the thing. Your quarterback had the second most passing yards in games in which he's down by 3 scores or
Whose
more.
fault was that?
Your-
It was Zeke's fault. It was the defense's fault.
What
Yes.
are you talking about?
I
Zeke's
just
fault?
explained it. Yeah, because they kept giving it to Zeke on first down early in the game. I just explained to him what happened against the Rams. Their first 8 first downs of the game, they didn't feed the beast. They didn't hand it predictably to Ezekiel Elliott.
It's
They
Zeke's
kept
fault
doing
he's
it.
consistently inconsistent.
Well, no, because in all those games we're talking about, they tried to establish the run, like you guys said. You gotta
just-
run the rock.
Skip, just because you say
on first down, no.
Skip.
And you fall behind.
When people say establish the run, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to run the ball on first down every
Right.
time.
Well, you
that
know
means
what?
you have to have a commitment.
All those fall behind games, they'd go Zeke on first down, Zeke on first down. It'd be 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11.
Okay, so is
and then
that,
they
is
would
that
throw
Zeke's
it
fault,
off.
or is that the offensive coordinator's fault for not calling?
Okay, you know what, James? I'm gonna give him that. You know what? They did that. Okay, so when the score was 7-0, that was Zeke's fault because they handed it to him. So when it got 14-0, 17-0, 24-0, 31-3, whose fault is that? Because if I'm not mistaken, Dak is getting opportunities.
Guess whose receivers lead the league in drop passes? Guess. Dak's. Dak's are number 1 in drop passes in the whole league. Aren't you going to give him some credit for that? Guess what? My team is 32nd in field position. So Dak's starting position on the football field has been the worst in the whole, out of 32 teams.
That's why his numbers so high. He got to go further. So
Yeah,
and
you
then
have to
that's
go
in garbage
further and
time,
further
so, I mean,
and farther.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ain't got no numbers though, but I'm saying,
Guess who's second in passes for first downs? My guy. Guess what Aaron is? He's 15th in passes for first downs.
Skip,
Way to go, Aaron.
Skip, if you don't mind-
Congratulations,
Skip,
Aaron. You're in the Pro Bowl.
If you don't mind-
Have some scotch on me.
If you don't mind me,
Right?
if you don't mind me
Aaron
asking,
must be just tipping today. Right?
those guys that's in the top, minus Stafford, those guys that's in the top 6, top 7. If you don't mind me asking, what is their win-loss record?
Well, I can't defend that because my guy's 7-7, but he does have a chance to go to Philadelphia and outplay Carson Wentz, who's not even in this conversation.
We ain't talking
We ain't
about
talking about
wins. We ain't talking about wins. We ain't talking about
Right.
wins.
You've told me all
You
along.
You want to go off subject when it
No,
benefits
because he
you.
tells me all the time Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott. Really?
24-2.
Huh.
Skip, I remember before you guys acquire Amari Cooper. You come out here and beat on the desk every day.
don't have no
Crying, he ain't got no help. Dez, I'm done with Dez. Get him out of my sight.
Did Amari make the Pro Bowl this year?
No.
No. You know why? He underachieved. He did not have nearly the year he had the last 8 games last year. Not nearly.
Okay.
Everybody underachieved. My defense. How about my linebackers on defense? Those hot, young, fast linebackers.
Two guys.
They've been awful until Sunday. They finally played on
And your quarterback,
first game all year.
quarterback has been awful until Sunday when he didn't have to do no heavy lifting.
Right.
So
We didn't have to do no heavy lifting.
my
Even
running
below
back
25.
finally had a good game on Sunday. And guess where it ranks in his career? It was his 10th best game of his career, and he had it in week 15 of this year. It was his first good game of the whole year. My quarterback was all we had, and my team can go win the division.
And Sunday was your quarterback's most efficient game. 15 completion, 23 attempts.
Yeah.
And you blew a team out that had a winning record. The first time this year, that's not a coincidence. Remember earlier, too many coincidences.
How many carries Zeke get? How many times Zeke touched the ball?
Like 24.
Who made all the key early plays to put them ahead 14-7 in the game? 3rd and 9, Dak completion. 3rd and 10, Dak touchdown pass to Tavon for 49 yards, 14-7.
If he hadn't bounced it to Amari, he could have had a first down.
To Amari?
Yeah, he bounced it to him.
Right there?
No, he did. Stop it.
Well, did it hit him in the hands?
Stop it.
Would Shannon Sharpe put that in his back
I would
pocket?
have called that one. I'd have said, John, get that one up for me, bro.
You know, the only reason my team is 7-7 and has a chance to go win the division is my quarterback.
No,
the only reason.
No, the only reason your team is 7-7 because they play in a crappy division. That's the only reason. Because they would be out of it if they were in the NFC North. I mean, the NFC North or the NFC West. It's over.
Guess what? They're not in the NFC.
True.
Or the NFC South.
You can only play who you play.
Okay,
you can only be where you are.
And guess what? When you played New Orleans, you called an L. You played Minnesota, you called an L. You played Buffalo, you called an L.
Guess what?
New England.
New England
teams. If we win Sunday, bring them on. Bring them on.
New England.
We're the team nobody wants to face.
New England
team everybody wants to face.
They do not.
New England's offense. New England is ranked behind LSU in offense.
Yeah.
And they beat you bums.
I know
LSU's
you and Troy
pretty
said
good.
that, but you should. Let's wait until what we see Sunday. Let's give it another game, see if they can hold on to the performance they had against.
No, they're not.
You both know my quarterback deserved to be in.
No, he did not.
No mercy.
Well, despite having the second best record in the AFC, the Patriots only had 3 players named to the Pro Bowl. And for the first time since 2003, they didn't send anybody from the offensive side of the ball. Tom Brady's omission wasn't too surprising considering the competition at the position. But Julian Edelman missed out yet again, which means the reigning Super Bowl MVP and future Hall of Famer has still never made a Pro Bowl in his career. Just crazy to think about. Former Patriot James Harrison back with us. James, no Brady, no players from New England's offense. Did they get it right?
I believe they got it right because it's in comparison to the person that's playing their position that they're going up against. And when you're looking at Tom Brady and what you're used to seeing him do, he's nowhere near that right now. And the guys that are playing are doing better numbers and, in some cases, wins and losses than he is doing. The position for receiver, like I said, that's another hard position, especially when you look at Edelman and most people consider him.
Do him a slot.
Right. Most people consider him a slot, a positional receiver, not really your all-star number one, receiver. So it's not surprising the offensive line is what it is, and no one's going from there. And when you look at the running back position, what you got? You got Chubb, Ingram, and Henry that are the Pro Bowl running backs. So putting all that into it and what they're going up against, I'm not surprised.
No, not even close. Not even close. Brady, I mean, think about it. Let this sink in for just a second. There have only been 7 quarterbacks to start every single game. Brady is one of 7 quarterbacks. My homeboy didn't start every game. 7. And he couldn't make it. I'm not sure he's the first alternate. Josh Allen might be the first alternate. He had no case for the 3 that made it. He had 0 case. And I've been telling you all year, but Skip Bayless won't tell you. Did you know Tom Brady is 20th in QBR? Skip loved that stat. He told you.
Right.
He loved
that one.
He's 20th.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers 17, Tom Brady 20th.
Oh!
Keep that in perspective. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bring up both.
But Brady is 29th in completion percentage, 28th in yards per attempt. Ooh. And Julian Edelman, and people is considering Julian for the Pro Bowl, considering what his quarterback has been giving him. Now, mind you, they have the number 1 defense in football, number 1 in takeaways. They're starting on short fields. And this is what Brady put up there. You talk about the Pro Bowl? Pro Bowl? Pro Bowl? In my best Jim Moore senior voice. Skip Bayless, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, I'm surprised. Look,
I didn't even talk yet.
Nope.
I think
what should I be ashamed for?
For the defense, I'm a little surprised Devin McCourty didn't make it because I thought he had an unbelievable. I thought he had an unbelievable season. But Gilmore, he's probably going to be the defensive player of the year. Yeah. Zeus Hightower, okay. But other than that, but see, Skip, the thing that made Brady, that he was always able to take lesser tier talent and elevate it. Now he can't do that. And everybody make all these excuses. But the thing that you gave him credit for, now you're demonizing the players that are around him for. Because you never gave those players the credit that they rightfully deserve. And when I told you those players are better than you think, they might not be Julio, or they might not be a top-tier running back. But for that system and what they need, they're perfect. But you didn't want to hear that. Now you're starting to see as he's aged and his play has slipped and he can't elevate those guys. Wow. it look a mess out there. They got no claim. Because what was the last offensive lineman they have make the Pro Bowl? Logan Mankins? I think that was the last guy. They've really never had a whole lot of offensive linemen, Skip, that made the Pro Bowl. I think Logan Mankins, if I don't quote me, but I think he was the last one to make it, and he consistently made it. And Coach Belichick let him walk out the door. Last true defensive lineman was probably Seymour. The last outside linebacker was Chandler Jones, and he traded him. So the thing that we applauded Brady for, being able to elevate players and to get by, is the thing now that he can't elevate those, and we're starting to see what they look like when he can't.
So I completely agree. There was zero chance of Tom Brady making the Pro Bowl.
Did he deserve it?
No.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
Zero. Less than zero chance.
Okay.
So you keep saying I should be ashamed of myself.
Okay.
No, I shouldn't.
I thought,
But because you've been telling me he's been playing great all year. You've been telling me, Jenny and I
made a bunch of plays that he didn't deserve to make because somehow Bill Belichick has allowed Tom Brady's supporting cast to slip all the way to the bottom of the NFL. Nobody has a worse supporting cast than Tom Brady. I dare you to show me anybody out there who has a worse supporting cast. Nobody has worse protection than Tom Brady. Nobody's offensive line opens fewer holes than the Patriots have consistently opened all year because Sony Michel is a shadow of himself. He managed 89 yards rushing against the 29th ranked rush defense in Cincinnati, and that was his second highest total of the year. And I was like, wow, they got a little running game today, right?
They did.
And I had to watch, by the way, speaking of Belichick's vaunted defense, I had to watch the Bengals go up and down the field early in the game and march to a 10-7 lead because they could not tackle Joe Mixon. He ran wild on that defense just the way Nick Chubb ran wild and just the way Lamar and company ran wild on that defense. So I'm saying, really? Is that all you got?
That's surprising.
Okay, all right, that's all you got. So I told you that Dak's receivers are first in drops. Tom Brady's receivers are number 2 in drops in the National Football League. His protection is absolutely the worst. He's got less than 2 seconds before both sides are crushing in on him. He is obviously not mobile because he wasn't mobile when he was 22 years of age because he ran the sorriest looking 40-yard dash in the history of the combine. So don't say, oh, he's lost his mobility. He didn't have any to lose.
Hold on, Jenny.
What?
Remember what he said at the beginning of the year?
Which part?
He's faster now than he was.
He did say he's faster.
Oh, he said he's faster.
He does look like he's running better.
He actually took off the other day against Kansas City. That was he went 17 yards.
That's a move.
I mean, I was like, where did that come from? That looked pretty good. That's pliability on display.
Is he running better, in your opinion, James? You've been
From what
around him.
I seen in that actual 40 run that he had,
Well,
a little bit better.
Every other quarterback would have scored on that run, but Brady got 17 yards.
Not every other quarterback. You telling me, what's the name?
Maybe Phillip Rivers.
Maybe
Phillip Rivers. Yeah, Jameis would have got in. Phillip Rivers might not have scored because he got on knee braces on both legs. But everybody else would have got in.
Okay, now to Tom's receivers. It's pathetic what Belichick has allowed to happen with their receiving core because he went and got Mohamed Sanu, who can't separate from me. He looks like he's got the proverbial piano on his back right now. And Julian Edelman is just beat all to hell. And he probably shouldn't be playing. He probably shouldn't have played Sunday in Cincinnati, but we know he's got a big heart, so he sucks it up and goes out there and scratches and claws.
He does.
And what did he catch? 2 balls for 9 yards, and they threw him 5. And he looked pathetic even trying to run his little slot routes.
He looked hurt. For the first time, he looked hurt.
Yeah,
okay.
He's looking like, it's wearing.
It's wearing on him.
It does.
He's physically tired.
Remember, he's a high collision little slot receiver, and he's not very big to start with, but every catch he makes, somebody's going to hit him from one side or maybe both sides. Am I right?
Yep.
Because it's all in the middle of the field. Boom, 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 right?
Yep.
And now they say he's got a bad knee and a bad shoulder, and he had cracked ribs earlier, and he's just...
You don't know how to fall because everything hurt.
Okay, so he's hurt, and I thought Brady took as much punishment at Cincinnati as he's taken all year.
Yeah.
So if you can't separate and you have no deep threat, so the defensive coordinators week to week, they're just saying, what am I supposed to be worried about here? Let's just press everybody. Yeah. Let's blitz and press. Let's get up in their faces and take them right off the line of scrimmage because they can't run past us.
And the thing what you're starting to see, Skip, is that you see more and more gadget plays, the trick plays, the screen, the throwbacks and all this. And you see Coach Belichick taking more chances on special teams because he knows that his offense can't drive like they once could. The 80-yard drive, they might have one in them because you remember they opened the game against Cincinnati. And then after that, everything was like, if the defense didn't get turnovers and set them up on short fields, they wasn't moving the ball.
Right? They have to trick you. They're going to have to either run a trick play or a trick kind of screen, and they're really good at screening. That's the only way they get people loose.
Right.
Get James White in space, right? And I'm not saying he runs 4.2, but he's got a little scat.
He got a little wiggle. Okay. But I told y'all Chris Hogan was better.
You know
than
what?
thought.
I agree. So it's laughable. There's no candidate. I can't make a case for Julian making the Pro Bowl. He's never made.
But you know what, Skip? He has a case. This was maybe his strongest case because when you look at it, he and Jarvis are very, very close. Now, Jarvis has a little more higher yards per catch, but they're very, very close. And I think that's people looking at Jarvis like, hold on, look at their record.
I know. I would agree with that.
Ain't like he pulled up numbers like he put up Julio numbers or anything like that. But the AFC was slacking this year on receivers.
Yeah.
Huh. James, always good to have you with us.
Well,
appreciate it. Other than, a couple times, but we enjoyed it.
No mercy.
LeBron James has made no secret that he's anti-load management this year, doubling down on his stance this weekend, saying, quote, "Why wouldn't I play if I'm healthy? It doesn't make any sense to me." Many people thought this was a veiled shot at the Clippers, and Doc Rivers didn't mince words when asked about it last night, responding, quote, "It's our philosophy. I don't know what theirs is. I think theirs is whatever LeBron says it is, to be honest." We're now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, how about that quote?
How about that?
Are you surprised Doc said this?
No, because Doc Rivers is probably the smartest PR coach in the league. He's great when it comes to public relations. He's smart. So I get it, defending your player. Whether or not this was really a shot at Kawhi or not, it's construed that way. Right. And you got to back your player. So Doc was right. He was smart to do that. However, there's two problems with it. One, it really was not a shot at LeBron. It was a shot at the Lakers front office and coaching staff because you're really giving LeBron the ultimate compliment for a player. You're saying he runs the franchise. He's the boss, right? LeBron says go get AD, you go get AD. LeBron says I want to load manage, he loads manage. I want to play, he plays. And that's a great compliment for any player to have that much power, but especially when your team that you put together, kind of, that's what Doc's saying, is 24-4. So I think it's really, he meant it as a shot at LeBron, but it's really a compliment. That's the first problem. The second one is that Doc's being a little bit hypocritical. Because we know that the only reason, I don't remember Doc doing load management with Chris Paul, with Blake Griffin, with Kevin Garnett, and especially Chris and Blake, who were really injury prone. And if anybody could have used load management, it would have been those guys. We know that everyone around the league is saying Kawhi was telling teams or the Clippers, I'm giving you about 65 games. And when he was recruited. And look, the Clippers are right. I would do it. And if Kawhi wants to load manage, I would do it. Right. Concept. But I'm just saying, you can't, he's calling out LeBron when your team is doing the exact same thing. Whatever Kawhi says, because if Kawhi comes back after Christmas and says, you know what, I want to play back-to-backs, he's playing back-to-back. So what Doc said, I get it, but it doesn't stand up to scrutiny.
Hold on. He said LeBron is running your franchise. Why did the Clippers go get Paul George? Who said go get Paul George?
Good point.
Because Sam Presti, who was the general manager at the time of the OKC Thunder, on Woj's podcast, said he got a call from Paul George's agent. Said he and Kawhi had been talking for several weeks, over a month, and said they would like to play together, preferably in L.A. For the Clippers. Now, if it's a lie, Sam Presti lying. I tend to believe Sam Presti. Don't you, Skip? He seems like an honorable man. Any man that wears glasses, he won't lie to you. So I believe won't say.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, man, the wear glasses won't lie.
Wait, you shattered that.
Hold on. Now, but I take these glasses off. I'm about to tell him.
That's why he wears glasses
I'm about to tell him big. I agree, and that's what I told Skip the very same thing. Now, because when Paul Pierce, the first year with the big three, Paul Pierce played 80 games, 81 games, 71, 80. Now, there's only 82 games, so I'm trying to figure where the load management is. Ray Allen played 73, 79, 80, and 80. Where's the load management? Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, where's the load? Skip, where is that? Dog, you thought you always did this. Stop it.
He didn't say he always did.
Yes, he did. That's
our philosophy.
That's always been our philosophy.
No, he didn't say always.
He didn't say always.
He said it's now our philosophy.
It's our
July 7th or whatever the date was.
Is it your philosophy with Sweet Lou, Montrez, or is just your philosophy with Kawhi?
Even Paul George, hadn't he played every game?
Back.
He's about to pass Kawhi in short order.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Skip, I have no problem. You would understand that superstars carry a lot of weight in the NBA. And they normally swing the pendulum of power. That's why guys can say, when a superstar guy says, I want out, you end up moving him because he's going to make it very uncomfortable for you. And that's why he says, well, I want you to try to go get this guy. Because guess what happens? If Giannis says, I want to leave, if he tells Budenholzer, you know what? I just want to play about 78 games a year. He goes on the free agent market. Who's going to tell him, nah, you got to play all 82?
Right.
Okay, so what?
That's my point. But don't make it seem like that's your philosophy. That's the superstar player's philosophy.
That's what he accepted from Kawhi because anybody would.
Why would he say LeBron is running the Lakers when, to a large degree, Kawhi is running the Clippers?
That's all I'm saying.
Did Kawhi say go get Mo Harkless? Did he say go get Magruder?
No,
he didn't.
said no.
He doesn't do that. But LeBron does do that for the Lakers.
Did he say go get Paul George?
They're 24-4.
Did he say
he said go get Paul George?
I agree. It's 24-4.
Did he say go get Paul George? Yes or no?
I already told you, LeBron has far more power within the Laker organization than Kawhi wants to have within the Clippers. All Kawhi wants to do is manage himself. Did he obviously say, I got to have Paul George? Well, obviously he's not going to go by himself to the Clippers.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why not?
Because
LeBron wouldn't do it.
Have someone else.
He did. Huh? Remember, he went by himself.
He knew they was getting somebody, though.
He went by himself,
And he thought they might get Paul George.
Yeah. He thought they were going to get Jimmy Butler. He thought they were going to get a whole bunch of people. They all said no to it, including Kawhi Leonard.
So if you don't mind me asking, what Kawhi uncle doing?
What's his uncle doing? Yeah. Who cares?
Oh, he cares. Yeah. That ain't none of my business. I don't even know why I brought that up, Chris. You know what I should have said that.
Okay. So here's what happened. This season has quickly boiled down to LeBron versus Kawhi or Kawhi versus LeBron, however you want to look at it, one way or the other. And they have been going at each other sort of between the lines from the start of this year. And because nobody has taken off in the West except these two teams. And by the way, the Clippers, they're playing pretty well. They're playing at a high level. Yeah. Can't wait for Christmas Day.
Me either.
But again, the season, quote unquote, doesn't even start until Christmas Day. But you look around the West and all those other teams I thought were going to be pretty to very good. Not so far. Maybe they'll all take off later. I still think Houston has a shot to be very good. But they're so far so pretty good with Houston. But the point is, it's LeBron. It seems like on a nightly basis, he is pointedly saying, when LeBron is healthy, LeBron plays. And how is Doc going to interpret that? It's a shot at Kawhi Leonard.
They ask him about him. They ask him about low management. What's he supposed to say? He can't worry about what somebody else
doing.
LeBron, though, you got to give him this, Skip. He rarely takes shots at other players, particularly other stars.
Okay.
Right?
But
so I don't know if it was a shot
LeBron that starting on opening night against the Clippers, what commercial dropped, what shoe dropped on that night. You can dismiss the shoe all you want, but it was a shot from Kawhi at LeBron, and he took it personally. And now he's firing back. I'm going to play every game because he knows that plays well. He is playing to the crowd that wants to say, why are you doing this, Kawhi? Well, Kawhi's only been doing this since his rookie year in San Antonio. I don't play back. He's been doing it. He load managed right out of college. It's who he is. And I got to tell you, this is the tortoise or hare argument here because I'm going to bet on the tortoise on the long term because LeBron can run and play all these minutes. LeBron hasn't missed a game yet. 28 for 28.
Chris, I know you've been covering the game 2 decades.
25 years.
25 years? How many games did Michael Jordan load manage? What about Kobe?
Never.
What about Kobe?
Never.
Well, Karl Malone load managed?
Never.
Bird load managed?
Well, Kobe should have load managed a little more before his last 3
No,
years.
because Skip, when you play at that level, Skip, you don't know when your last game is.
Okay.
You go out there and you lay it all on the line.
Okay,
And
all I'm saying is LeBron James is playing a dangerous game. I've told both of you this from the start. He's averaging 35 minutes a night. That's 5th most in the whole league in year 17.
Well, that's the thing. It's still in his career.
It's scary.
Is it though? If there was no Kawhi and no load management, would we be saying
No.
this is-
We would.
I think we'd be saying LeBron's actually dialed it down. He's only playing 34 minutes a night.
That's right.
Well, it's the
lowest
fifth
in the
most
league.
That's
but
pretty
lowest for
high.
him. We just can't. I said it before. We can't let Kawhi's load management skew our view of everything else.
Okay. Not mine.
Because then everybody. Now they have to win it. Kawhi better win it. That's the way you justify this, right?
Well, I might say LeBron better win it. You got to justify getting AD.
He didn't get hurt.
So let me get it straight. So we're going to take 1 year and we're going to disregard the other 50 NBA champions. We're going to take Kawhi's 1 year of load management, and we're going to disregard the Bulls' 6 titles. We're going to disregard the Lakers' 15 titles and the Celtics.
It's not 1 year of load management. I told you he's been doing this. You just didn't notice. He was
Skip.
doing it all through his San Antonio
Skip.
years.
But
he was the MVP of a finals.
Yes.
And then he was the MVP of last year's
you
finals,
said
and
he
he
didn't-
load managed
but
all
you
year.
said he didn't deserve that.
In San Antonio, as you know, they thought he was soft because he wouldn't play through any little nick.
Okay, but
ailment,
he was load
bruise.
managing on his own. He just said, I'm not going to play.
Little.
Okay.
Did it bother you then, though?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's
But it don't bother you now.
Here's the worst part of it. If they do win it, if the Clippers win it, he plays 60 games, they win it. It's going to trickle out throughout the league. Then Harden might be load management. Luka might start load management. And that's a problem. If all the superstars start playing 60 to 65 games,
You know what I do?
Kawhi's...
If I was them owners, you know what I do? I said, I'm going to start load managing some of these contracts.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Right.
You don't.
No,
you
but
don't
I'm a load manager
get
those.
paid?
Because I'm paid, you getting paid on a game basis, I'm going to load these contracts.
They don't load manage in football. They shouldn't be load managing in basketball.
But you can't, the game's me too.
I've seen it trickle all over the place. Westbrook's been taking games off.
But not, it's one thing to play 74 games, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But 60? Take off a
That
quarter
is a
of the
big
season?
difference.
That's a quarter of the season.
No, you ain't load managing football. The game's me too much. You only got 16.
Yeah.
That'd be
And
like missing
you bring
4
up
games.
a good point, though, that if you
Fine.
got to win it or else, and if it affects everyone
If he
else
win-
moving forward,
And you're
it
supposed
to be a
changes
bad
things.
And superstar, man, a quarterback can't load manage. You're not winning no game without Tom Brady. You're not winning no game without Dak.
All right, we're going to
What?
have Chris.
I just
stick
want to
around.
say this.
What?
One last thing. Thank you, Doc, for taking
No, you don't go.
Thank you.
There was no hypocrisy
Thank
there.
you.
There was no hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can't even
like
say
He
it.
just wanted to take a shot at it.
Skip likes it. Oh, okay. The Indiana Pacers snapped the Lakers' 14-game road winning streak last night, coming away with a 105-102 victory. LA was not only playing without Anthony Davis, but also Kyle Kuzma. Both sat out with ankle injuries. Still, the Lakers kept it close despite shooting just 47% from the free throw line. As a team, LeBron had 20-99 to keep the purple and gold in the game, but it was Rajon Rondo who missed a long three-pointer at the end that would have sent the game into overtime. Chris Broussard still with us. Chris, give LeBron a letter grade for his performance without AD last night.
I thought I was being harsh on LeBron with this grade, but I was told backstage I'm actually being lenient. I'm giving him a D+. All right? The standard is I think he's the best player in the world again.
Wow.
Okay, so without AD, you needed more than usual. That's at least 26 points, which is his average. He got 20. 10 assists, his average. He got 9. 50% field goal. He shot 40%, 0 for 6 from 3. So average would have been a C if he gave me his normal grade.
Average.
So he was below that. I got to give him a D+. Here's why I at least give him a D+. Number one, you still almost had a triple-double. 29 and 9. Okay, I got to give you something for that. And then in the fourth quarter, he kept them in it early in the fourth. He had 5 straight points. He had a runner, 3-point play, then followed up with another runner. Now, he did miss the 2 free throws late with about 3 minutes left, but then he came back and hit 2 more to tie it. So his fourth was up and down. But the thing I didn't like the most, the thing that disappointed me the most last night in LeBron's game, that second to last play. I don't know. I didn't see an explanation where he was quoted, where he took the 3. But I don't know if he was thinking, let's just try to win it on the road. But there was 11 seconds left. So there's still too much time to go for the dagger 3 to win it. You're down 2. He goes in the lane. he had, like I said, he had hit 2 runners earlier. Why not pull up, do a runner, a 10-foot, 12? I know that's not really his game, is the pull up, stop on the dime, pull up jumper. But still, I thought he should have taken the 2 rather than dribble all the way back out and take a 26-footer. And then the last play of the game, they all admitted they didn't execute. He's a part of that poor execution that leads to Rondo's long 3. So I gave him a D+. I thought I was being harsh, but.
You know, Professor Sharpe here.
Yeah, please, with the
That's
glasses
one of those situations, Mr. James. Can I see you after class? It's one of those, I need to see him after class. I need to talk with him.
Yeah. Not a good sign.
Is he in danger of flunking out your class?
So he gave him an A-.
That paper that you turned in is not acceptable.
Not good enough.
Really?
The play last night is not acceptable.
Did he plagiarize in there?
No, he didn't plagiarize.
Never.
And I thought he settled entirely too much. You saw Brogdon was going to be the primary defender on you. You post Brogdon. You don't shoot over the top of him. And when they get to switch with Miles Turner or Sabonis, you drive the basketball on them. I thought he settled too much. I didn't really have a problem in the first 3 quarters, even though I thought he was settling too much and taking jump shots. But come the 4th quarter, when you see your shots not falling, you got to drive that ball to the bucket. You got to try to get to the free throw line. And I know you're not. It's a problem. Frank Vogel, I know you won't tell him, but I will. It's a problem. You're not going to win championships shooting 47% in a game. You're not. Because the games are going to be too close, and every point's going to matter. You can't shoot like that. But I just thought LeBron settled entirely too much, Skip. That's not good enough. That average is not good enough. When AD's not there, I expect those numbers to be 30, 13, and 13. Not 26, 11, and 7. 30, 13, and 13, because that's what they needed last night. They needed a virtuoso, and I know he's more than capable of giving them that. I thought he settled too much early. He had the first quarter, he was like 4 or 6.
Right.
And then he goes 4 or 14 the rest of the way, which tells me, Skip, he was settling entirely too much. Get your butt on the block. Let's run the offense through you. Hey, if they don't send help, Miles Turner, if he doesn't come, you take Brogdon to the bucket and you stuff him. If they bring help, because he had 2 great passes.
He went late. He had that drive where he did get the foul.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And he tried. So that's it. So I'm gonna need to see Mr. James after class. And if we need to have a parents-teacher conference, I'm gonna have to call.
What's the grade?
Gave him a D.
D?
Is that the lowest grade you've ever given him?
No, I've given him a D before.
Really?
Have you?
I don't remember at all.
No, in your dreams.
I gave him a D before.
You're trying to be all honest.
So, I thought last night LeBron James had a chance, a great opportunity on the road against a pretty decent team. They're 19-9 now, and they're 11-3 at home. I thought he had a chance to make his MVP case, and unfortunately, he helped make Anthony Davis's MVP case in Anthony's absence.
Well, we won and won without AD now.
Yeah, okay. So, but that was LeBron's night, and he came up pretty small. So I'm grading on the GOAT curve because all I hear is he's the GOAT, or I'm grading on the best player on the planet curve because that's all I hear is he's still, from both of you, the best player in basketball. So I'm going to give him an F+. And the only reason I'm giving him the plus is I was very impressed. He bounced back after missing the 2 free throws at 2:53, and he swished 2 free throws at 1:40. And I was like, wow, that's good, because usually when the demons get a hold of his psyche.
Gave him an F for that one.
Well, no, it's a plus. I'm giving him a plus.
I've never heard of an F+.
I think that's actually a rule.
Well, I invented a new grade because it deserved a plus.
I gave Dak F++.
Yeah.
Fail, you fail.
But the plus was for making the 2 free throws. So then my pet peeve happened again. I've been pounding the debate desk back to LeBron's second year in the league, because in the situation that then occurred, down 2 with a few seconds left, 36 seconds left, they come out of a timeout, and it's made to order for LeBron to drive the basketball because they couldn't keep him from the rim all night. They can't. Miles Turner can't. He's got the best chance. Sabonis has got no shot. And Brogdon, especially if you just post up LeBron at 6'9", he just can't defend him. What's Brogdon, 6'4" or 5" maybe?
Right.
So LeBron looks as big and strong as he's ever looked and as explosive as he has ever looked. He's the greatest driver of the basketball ever. And to your earlier point, once he gets in there, not good things happen, great things happen, because he can dish to anybody. He can get a dunk.
He can see over the top of everybody.
He can make things happen if he'll just attack the basket. So what happens on the turning point play of the night? I think the free throws are in the back of his mind. Do I really want to go there and shoot the free throws? He's thinking about it. So he goes into the lane after he got the switch on Miles Turner, and he circles completely out of the lane. You had him for a second. Just go up strong.
Yeah,
or,
that was bad.
Or pull him in, and maybe Dwight gets a dunk or something's going to happen. And instead he circles all the way back to the free throw line with Miles Turner following and dogging him. And then he shoots almost like a fall-away three-pointer from 26 feet.
I didn't love that.
And remember, he was 0 for 5 from 3 before that.
Right.
Well, it's not your night. You don't have a hot hand. He had made no shots outside the paint the whole night.
Right.
Okay, why would you do that? And then this also just bothered me because of his greatness. The very last play, after Sabonis missed the second free throw, there's no timeout left for the Lakers, so Dwight gets the rebound, and Rondo runs to him, and he gives the ball to Rondo. I want LeBron to go say, give me the damn ball and get out of my way, because the clock is ticking, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let LeBron go make a play at the other end. Now, you got to set up a three, but what did he do at Dallas? He drove it into the lane. I said, what are you doing? Are you going to dunk it and end the game? And he kicked it down the baseline to Danny Green. Let him make the play. Don't make little 6-foot Rondo try to dribble around and then shoot like a 40-foot three. I don't know what you're doing. LeBron just took off and ran to the other end.
Rondo was the fourth option. Dwight was the fifth.
Well, they said something after the game about pin down off Dwight. LeBron did come up, I guess, for the three, but
well, they wrap up the end of their 5-game road trip tomorrow in Milwaukee. We'll all be watching that
Redemption.
one. Two of the best.
Tomorrow.
That'll be a good one to see.
He's on some detention here,
Hopefully,
right? I mean, in our class, he's got some trouble.
F+.
Extra credit. He's going to need a big performance.
I need to talk to him about the class.
Raise that GPA. Chris, always a pleasure to have you with us.
No mercy.
Lamar Jackson seems to be a lock to win the MVP this year, but now he's being looked at through a pretty flattering historical perspective. Hall of Famer, former MVP Kurt Warner, said that when you combine his rushing and passing numbers, Lamar's year should be in the conversation of the best season by a quarterback ever.
Wow.
Shannon, do you agree?
I agree. For me, I don't think anything will ever touch Dan Marino. What he did, Skip, in 1984 with the rules the way they were, to go 5,048 touchdowns. I think that's the greatest statistical season for a quarterback ever. Now, Brady had a 50-8. Manning had a 55-10. I think Mahomes was 50-13 last year. Were great seasons. But when you look at what he's doing, if he can finish somewhere around 38 touchdowns, he's going to be, Skip, probably 1,200, maybe even 1,300 rush yards. 38 passing touchdowns, 1,300 rush yards. Yeah, the year that Vic ran for 1,000 yards, Skip, he threw for just under 2,500 yards. Well, Lamar is slightly under 2,900 right now. And when you look at, I think the thing is that when you're looking at a guy that's rushed for 1,100 yards, and he leads the league in touchdown passes. That's what's so amazing, because we don't think guys that's going to run the ball as effective as he does. Because, Skip, he's right there with Zeke. People don't realize this. Lamar Jackson has as many rush yards as Ezekiel Elliott has, as Chris Carson has. Let that sink in. But he has more passing touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. So when you look at it in that context, absolutely. If he's able to finish this thing off, yes, I think you would have to look at it and say that he had one of the great statistical seasons for a quarterback in the 100-year history.
Yep. So I'm finding this impossible to rank because he has revolutionized the position in a way that it's like apples to an orange.
Right.
And this orange is genetically engineered. It's like the greatest orange in the history of oranges. and it's so great that I can't even compare it to all the apples, because those are great apples over there. And I give you Dan Marino and the Brady year on QBR. That was the greatest year ever, was the Brady MVP 2007. They're undefeated. But then Peyton came along and just blew that out of the water. and again, Peyton that year had twice as many yards passing as Lamar has right now. But that's not the point. Because Lamar has become, to me, the best running back in all of football. So he's dominating, and it's not just effective running, it's dominating running, along with deadly accurate red zone passing that leads to key touchdowns. Well, how do I rank that against Peyton's year? I don't even know how, because this is a whole new deal we're watching, right?
Because I don't think Peyton had any rushing touchdowns that year. And the offense, and plus, that year Peyton was over 5,400 yards, 55 touchdowns. They had 5 different guys that scored at least 10 touchdowns. But when you look at Vic ran for over 1,000 yards. He was slightly under 2,500. Skip, he threw for 20 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson's at 33 with 2 games to go.
Right, and it does, if you compare it to Peyton's 55, then it doesn't seem like great. But wait a second, he's run for that many yards? Wow.
How many quarterbacks we've seen finish top 5? The guy, he could possibly finish top 5 in rushing, Skip, and lead the league in passing.
Okay.
That's because we don't normally see guys that lead the league in scoring and lead the league in assists. So that's why when people do that, Tiny Archibald was the first to do it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, James Harden or Russ did it also.
Yep.
But we don't normally see that. So what we're seeing is a running back, or the quarterback that can be top 5 in rushing, but lead the league in passing touchdowns. Skip, that doesn't go together. Running quarterbacks are not supposed to be able to throw the ball
Not like this.
Exactly.
Because he's as deadly a throw. To me, he's as deadly as Drew Brees is right now.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
So on impact, I don't know. I could argue with you this might be the greatest season ever, right?
It's unbelievable. I mean, you look at Rodgers, what Rodgers did, Skip. I think he went 45-6, one of those seasons. Manning had another season where he threw 49 touchdowns because he broke Dan's record with 49, because Dan had 48, and then Brady came behind him and threw 50, and then Peyton said, you know what, I'm going to break this thing by 10%.
Okay.
I'm going to go 55.
Okay, but you're trying to compare pure pocket passing.
Exactly.
Pure, with no mobility whatsoever.
None, zero.
Yes. Versus all-time mobility.
Yeah. Considering that Lamar Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, might have more rush yards this season than Brady has for a career.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure
that's real. That is incredible.
Because remember, he went over 1,000 yards, how he was happy that he was going over 1,000 yards rushing.
In his career?
In his career.
I'm pretty sure.
I hadn't even read that yet. That's mind-blowing.
I mean,
wow.
to see this guy, what he's been able to do throwing the football, to see where he's come from, Skip.
No.
In 7 starts, have 6 TDs passing. Now he's at 33.
Revolutionizing the position, and we are watching it, and it is fun to see.
No mercy.
Guys, Dak Prescott is limited in practice today due to a banged-up shoulder from an injury he suffered against the Rams. Yep, this is just coming out. Prescott is obviously preparing for a win and in game against the Eagles this weekend on Fox. Shannon, your reaction first to the news.
You know what I'm saying?
Happy.
I mean, my grandma used to say, boy, if you add yeast to anything, it'll grow. Boy, they want this Dak legacy to grow. They're going to say, now the man got a banged up shoulder.
He's got a fractured finger.
Fractured finger, banged up shoulder. He on crutches. They said he left the stadium in a walking boot. That's what I heard. They need to stop. There ain't nothing wrong with Dak. Dak is just fine. They're going to catch this L on Sunday.
All I know is this means that Ezekiel Elliott better be what Shannon Sharpe says he is, a $90 million running back who deserved to make the Pro Bowl and deserved to make USA Today's all-decade team, first team.
Hold on, what about your guy? What, you said your guy should have made the Pro Bowl. Well, you got to play through injuries like that. Banged up shoulder should be nothing.
This is not meant to be. But again, now they got to force the ball back into Zeke's hands. That should be what you want.
Now Clarence Hill Jr. is reporting that he hurt this shoulder in the first half. So he was throwing the ball still in the second half. So what's going on?
Not really. He was handing it off mostly in the second. They had 28-7 at halftime.
Oh, you happy with that too?
Yeah,
it won't happen. It won't happen this week though. That's for sure.
Dak's a tough
Y'all
guy.
will catch this.
He is a tough guy, and he better suck it up.
That has not been a question. That is it for us.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.